handled by Graham Watson. Opening event of the treble leagues from Eagle Farm yesterday, race 3.
Next to the outside, and then Ramnala and Baybo. Back along the rails is Avantum with Great Tax. Tassie Pride pulled out wide. So too is Tiger Hayes, and then So Presumptive and Nippy Star. 300 metres out, Noteman coming back to them. Santa Brigida, Baybo got a split. Proud Interest on the outside, Tiger Hayes. So Presumptive starting to make ground, and Gallant Ruler weaving his way through the field closer to the inside. It's Baybo in front, Proud Interest, Gallant Ruler trying hard. Baybo's packing plenty. He's in front, he's holding them, and he's a little too strong in the run to the line. Baybo first.
Well, Graham Watson was really the bookies pin-up at Eagle Farm yesterday, because in the 5th event, the Eagers Cup, he was successful on the 25-to-1 pop Foolish Beat. He'd also been down a little on form recently, but he relished the yielding conditions which we had at Eagle Farm yesterday, and the step up in class didn't worry him either. He always looked the one to beat from the 200-metre mark.
To go, Hot on Aces heads up about 2 lengths in front of Smart Offer. Persian World to the outside. He's got that big weight on his back, but he's coming after Hot on Aces. Then Right Missile. Foolish Beat just behind them. Raw's Fair getting up on the inside. Hot on Aces, they haven't got him yet. He's a length in front. 200 metres to go. Persian World the outside. Foolish Beat on the extreme outside, cutting down the pair of them. Hot on Aces fighting on. Foolish Beat the outside, coming at Hot on Aces. Foolish Beat grabbed Hot on Aces. Hot on Aces kicks again. They split the line, and Foolish Beat beat Hot on Aces.
Well, it wasn't all the bookies' way, because in the final leg of the treble, some big bets landed when Westbrook Way went on his winning way. He is another really a specialist on the wet tracks, and yesterday he was perched just behind the leaders as the field came to the home turn, and then he exploded away in the straight. Good performance and a solid effort by Bit of a Lark, the runner-up.
Just in front of Westbrook Way. Westbrook Way throwing down the gauntlet to Cheval Jazz now, and he looks to be going a lot better than him. Tolai a length away in 3rd spot, followed by Cruise Missile and then Palace Intrigue. Westbrook Way a clear-cut leader. The little boy goes for the whip on him. 150 metres to go, and look at him go. He burst away from them. It's Westbrook Way nicely clear, 3 lengths in front. Bit of a Lark is charging home at the end, but Westbrook Way with a big pull in the weights is too good for them. Wins it by 2 lengths. Second home was...
We switch now to Canterbury, the Sydney meeting yesterday. It was Canterbury Guineas Day, and the first leg of the treble was the Guineas. It went to High Regard. Plenty of money to say Sky Chase would get back in the winning list yesterday. He had his chance. High Regard, who led throughout, was clearly too strong for him.
Straightening up to the 220. High Regard, 2.5. Sky Chase struggling to get to the leader. And then Carpstad followed by Sandy's Pleasure. High Regard, Jeffries draws the whip, but it's holding Sky Chase and Carpstad at the 50 metres. It's all High Regard. He's got the Canterbury Guineas won from Sky Chase, and as they hit it, High Regard. High Regard beats Sky Chase.
The New Zealander My Red Deer took out the 5th event. Had a bit of a checkered passage in the straight, but he dives through a split in the centre about the 150-metre mark, and he goes on to score from I Wish. Counted Henri, the 5-to-4 favourite, was disappointing. He's the horse in the purple colours, 3 out from the fence.
200, Mr. Siren and Mr. Marceau with Count Henri, and then at the head of the others down the outside is I Wish from My Red Deer, getting a beautiful split, and here comes My Red Deer. He takes the lead, and My Red Deer's won the race.
7th event, the final leg of the treble, went to Cosmic Kingdom in the yellow colours. You'll see him loom up to the leader, Periscope, about the 200-metre mark, and he goes away to defeat Mick Dittman's mount, Periscope, who was forced into the role of pacemaker and may be worth another chance.
It's the top weight, Periscope, tackled in earnest by Cosmic Kingdom. Will the pull in the weights tell the tale? I think it will. Cosmic Kingdom puts paid to Periscope, clear of Sem Star, and Cosmic Kingdom lands a huge plunge. Cosmic Kingdom's beaten Periscope and Sem...
Down at Caulfield, the first leg of the treble there went to Golden Unicorn, who had to be pretty desperately ridden by Harry White in the last few strides to defeat Strawberry Fair. Tennessee Vane, the favourite, came from a long way back, and she lost no admirers for the AJC Oaks with this performance.
To the leader, Golden Unicorn, about to go up and pounce on it on the outside. Sand coming at them now on the outside is Strawberry Fair. Now Tennessee Vane getting going. Golden Unicorn's taken the lead now from Ranchita. Sweeter coming at it out wide, Tennessee Vane, and also there in the centre of the track, Strawberry Fair. Golden Unicorn in front. Golden Unicorn's won it. A half head to Strawberry Fair, 3/4 of a length.
5th was the Carline Cup over 2,000 metres, and Black Charleston, previously thought as a horse who could barely get up to around the 1,600-metre mark, handled the extra distance well. He led throughout. He's under plenty of pressure here from Bahrain, but fights on strongly, and he's likely now to come up for the Channel 9 Cup at Doomben on May 2.
At the 200, narrowly to Bahrain, 2 lengths to Happy View, then Island Spy, but Black Charleston's kicked away again. It's in front and going to lead all the way. Down to the line, Black Charleston's won it by nearly 2 lengths. Second, Bahrain, ahead to Happy View. Third.
He'll be here for a cup event on May 2 anyway. The 7th event went to Prince Carrick, who defeated the 2-1 favourite Spacecraft. Spacecraft had his chance. He got to the lead halfway down the straight, but Prince Carrick ran on very strongly.
Going easily at the moment, Prince Carrick now to the outside. He's trying to get out on Iskra. Spacecraft went to the lead, 200 to go. Here's Place Your Orders coming with a strong run, and Prince Carrick is out after the leader. And wider out, Colonial Chief from well back. Spacecraft in front, but Prince Carrick's finishing over it. And Prince Carrick's got up the winner, half length to Spacecraft.
The third event from Caulfield yesterday, we're going to feature the run here of Isoma, who was resuming. He was very heavily backed, sensationally backed, in fact, to firm in to start 6-4 on. He didn't have a lot in hand at the finish. Greg Hall was pretty quiet on him in the final 200 metres. He felt he had them covered. Now, Isoma's the horse on the outside, the yellow colours looming up to Princely Heart over on the inside, and something stunning in between them, the horse with the white blaze. Now, Isoma gets to the lead here, and Hall's just content to go hands and heels. I think the horse was inclined to shift in a little bit. And you'll notice Lucky Witch comes with a late burst. The horse in the red hood on the outside of Isoma now, really starting to get to the line strongly, and Greg Hall is moving his hands pretty freely now. He senses danger. Isoma just gets home from Lucky Witch, and a good performance by the third place getter there, Historic. Well, it was another historic win to Vo Rogue yesterday in the Futurity Stakes. Bookies thought he might have some trouble coming back to the 1400 metres, but Cyril Small and Vo Rogue had other ideas. We'll show you the slow-mo now of the champion action. As they get round the home turn, it's Vo Rogue clear. Now, the danger is Campaign King, the horse running third and the baldy face and the yellow colours with the blue cap. Now, he really picks up Vo Rogue quickly here for a few strides, and it looked certain he'd run past the favourite. But you'll notice Cyril Small, once he gets busy with the whip, Vo Rogue knuckles down. He really finds something as Campaign King gets to within ahead of him, but can't go any further. And Vo Rogue was able to hold him. In the last few yards, there was nothing much in it. They were both going to the line pretty strongly, and 1:22.2 the time there. That's sensational time. That took 0.2 off Galleon's course record. And Vo Rogue, as he's shown right through this campaign, is capable of running fast times regardless of the track or the distance. And our Melbourne Bureau has put together a package on Vo Rogue, and I think we'll get a bit of an insight into the man who's done all the great work with him, his trainer, Vic Rail.
As the sun rises over Melbourne to herald another day, the stables at Flemington Racecourse come alive. And there's one combination at Flemington that has captured the hearts and the imagination of the racing public. And it's a somewhat unusual combination. Champion 4-year-old Vo Rogue and veteran Queensland trainer Vic Rail. Vo Rogue, we know, is a very, very good horse.
200 to go. Vo Rogue's got it. One he's walked in. Vic Rail's got this horse fit. Vo Rogue's now 6 in front of King Phoenix, running up the second with Groucho and then Military Plume. Vo Rogue's won by 5 lengths to King Phoenix. A length away third, Groucho.
There's no doubt Vo Rogue is currently the glamour horse of the Australian turf, but he hasn't always been a beauty. In fact, it was owner Jeff Perry who christened him Erky.
He said, "Oh, Jesus, Erk," he said. "They told me he looks like Rhodey Rouge." He said, "He don't, not even the same colour," he said. "He don't look like anything like him." Oh, he said, "Jesus," he said, "I don't like him at all." He said, "I might send him back."
If there was any doubt about Erky's ability, it was dispelled in the Blamey Stakes at Flemington when he blitzed the field in race record time, a record that had stood for 48 years.
Oh, Cyril had a peep over the shoulder and said, "Where are you, fellas?" Vo Rogue, he's still 6 in front. He rides him along now. He's got it 1. What an exciting horse this is. Vo Rogue's 6 lengths in front of Bonomi, King Phoenix and Cossack Warrior. Vo Rogue has won by 7 lengths. Bonomi second.
All going well, he'll be the best horse that Australia's ever seen. That's throwing in all the champions of the past.
But Vo Rogue does have his challenges, and he'll meet his greatest rival in this year's Australian Cup. That horse, Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher's going to be everything we thought to get near Attalik. Attalik a length and a half in front. Bone Crusher trying hard. He's gradually making ground. Bone Crusher coming at Attalik. Will the champ get up? He lunges. Yes!
I maintain that this horse can get beaten, but to beat him, he'll make you earn your money. Whatever horse beats him, he'll make him earn his money, and by Jesus, he'll know he's been in a race after they do tackle him.
Vic is not concerned about the ownership wrangle surrounding the horse. He just feels honoured to have had the champion in his stables, and as far as he's concerned, he's worth considerably more than the current asking price.
He's valued, in my explanations, I know he's a gelding. He's worth $2 million today.
As we said earlier, Vic is a trainer out of the old school. He spent 5 years working with the legendary Tommy Woodcock. He's adopted Tommy's methods, and at the moment, they're paying handsome dividends.
I train this horse. I bring him up all natural, everything myself. I don't rely on anybody to tell me. I can see for myself. I operate my way. I do everything my way.
Vogue next race in his current campaign was the St George Stakes at Caulfield, and it's race caller Bill Collins who really sums up the champ.
Cossack Warrior challenging Vogue. Small had a look over the shoulder. Not far to look because Cossack Warrior's at his girth. They're both under the whip. Vogue's in front. He's holding Cossack Warrior at bay. And Vogue's going to do it again. You can't beat him no matter what you do. Vogue comes away. Wins by 2.5 lengths. Cossack Warrior, 3 lengths on the line.
I'm a great believer all horses can get beaten. All horses have their off days and things. But I maintain the present form that this bloke's in, he can be beaten. I would say his hardest race this campaign will be the Futurity.
Round the turn, Vogue led by 2.5 lengths. Rancho Ruler second. Campaign King's got out. On the outside of them, further back, Cameronic and Caledonian Boy. Vogue's only a length in front. Campaign King out after him at the 200 is tackling him. He's gone for the whip on Vogue. Campaign King's got to his girth. Vogue jumped in front. Campaign King trying. The bow in front. He's done it again. Vogue by a head to Campaign King. 3 lengths to Rancho Ruler.
And so the scene is now set for the clash with Bone Crusher. But perhaps it's a little ironic that Tommy Woodcock had arguably the greatest horse this country has ever seen in Phar Lap. Now, Vic Rail, with his own expertise and Tommy's wisdom, believes he has the horse to rival Big Red.
I assure you, he's got a lot of ability. But Jesus, he has got a lot of ability. That's all I can say. I don't class him as a champion, but Jesus, he's got a lot of ability. I think when he puts it all together, by the end of the year, that's when I'll say he's a champion, and he will be an out-and-out champion.
Number 5, Vogue is the winner. Number 5, Vogue, C small first, and he's broken the record, ladies and gentlemen.
Stirring stuff there, a background on Vogue. He did it again yesterday in the Futurity Stakes, and I think he's done something Wally Lewis couldn't do. He's got Victorians cheering for a Queensland. Attention of the public, not just the race followers. I think that a lot of business houses around Australia tomorrow are going to come to a standstill and listen to the Australian Cup. And I think it's been very well handled, the hype leading up to it. It's been a great promotion. I think it'll be a non-event, really. I think Vogue will walk in, but...
It's good to see the VRC bend a little bit and organise the special charter flight too.
Yes, in fact, the Connections had to pay a normal fare, so it's not... the VRC kept something back. Anyway, we've got a special preview coming out of our Melbourne Bureau. Peter Donegan has a talk to both camps.
The mighty Bone Crusher began in the spring of 1986. And when he showed us all the qualities of an undoubted champion by winning the WS Cox Plate at Moonee Valley in October of that year, we all knew then that the modern-day Big Red was something very, very special.
2 great New Zealanders have come away on the turn. Our Waverley Star, a half-length Bone Crusher. The Big Red won't give in. Drought running on. Bone Crusher responds to the whip. The roars of the crowd. He races up to our Waverley Star. 100 out. Bone Crusher, our Waverley Star. Stride for stride. Nothing in it. Our Waverley Star, the rails. Bone Crusher, the outside. And Bone Crusher races into equine immortality.
Who would have dreamed that only a few months later the Crusher would give us another magical moment of the turf, this time in the Australian Cup at Flemington.
Bone Crusher trying hard. He's gradually making ground. Bone Crusher coming at that Telek. Will the champ get up? He lunges. Yes!
On that day, Bone Crusher ran nearly 5 seconds slower for the 2,000 metres than a 3-year-old from Queensland. His name, Vogue, and he came of age in the William Reid Stakes at Moonee Valley earlier this year. It was to be the first of many incredible victories.
Vogue led into the straight. Military Plume and Groucho wobbled round the corner, and then Campaign King. Vogue in front. Military Plume's getting in from Groucho, and then Campaign King. Vogue won't give in. Got a big heart. He's still in front. He's going to win. Vogue scores a half-length to Military Plume.
Tomorrow, the 2 champs face up head-to-head in the $500,000 Australian Cup at Flemington. Bone Crusher taking in with him an age advantage of 1 year. He's prepared by the quiet, business-like New Zealander Frank Ritchie. while looking after Vo Rogue is one of the Runyon-esque characters of the racing game, Vic Rail. He may be a year younger, but Vo Rogue has the edge in race experience, having started 35 times for 14 wins and nearly $900,000 in stake money. The Crusher has won over twice that amount, being unplaced only 5 times in 30 appearances, winning 17 of them. The men in the saddle tomorrow have one thing in common. Both Cyril Small and Gary Stewart could ride for another 20 years, but after that, they'll probably still be known as the jockeys of Vo Rogue and Bone Crusher. And a final figure, which might either make you laugh or cry. You could have bought the pair of them for just over $8,000. Last Monday, though, the battle of the equine superstars was very much up in the air, which is more than you could say for Bone Crusher. Cyclonic conditions in New Zealand prevented his flight from taking off, and it took a specially arranged flight, arranged by the VRC no less, to get him to Melbourne for the race. That drama didn't seem to worry the mighty Vo Rogue, though, as he went about his early morning routine at Flemington during the week. In fact, Vo would have been resting peacefully in his box when Bone Crusher finally did make it to Melbourne on Friday night and was given a media welcome usually reserved for pop stars or heads of state. And trainer Frank Ritchie was keeping a watchful eye on proceedings when Jenny Chapman caught up with him.
A fairly long flight today, Frank. It has been delayed quite a few times. Was there any change in preparation to his track work?
Well, it's not what I originally planned, of course. He did have a good solid hit out this morning, and now he's had a trip. It's been a long, hard day for the horse, but he's tough, and he's an absolute marvellous traveller. I'm sure he'll get over it. I think by Sunday he'll have come back to me completely, and he'll be back in business.
Ritchie may be super confident, but so is Vic Rail, even if he is guarded about the ranking afforded to his mighty horse, at the moment, that is.
I think he's the best horse. And I couldn't say yet now, but by the end of the year, all going well, he'll be the best horse that Australia's ever seen. That's thrown in all the champions of the past.
Now the last of the preparations has been completed. The final polish has been applied. All we have to do is settle back as the burning question is answered at Flemington tomorrow, when two magnificent animals from two of the world's great racing nations battle it out for the crown.
Well, it is going to be a great clash down there at Flemington. I'm a Vo Rogue fan. I think his performances this autumn have been in the champion class, and I know Bone Crusher's an outstanding horse, but I think the Queenslander will prevail.
Well, that's going to be one of the showcases for Australian racing. We didn't exactly...
Really, electrical faults, there's not much anyone can do about them. One hopes that steps will be taken to alleviate this problem, which has been a niggling problem for some weeks, and yesterday it really blew up. But we'll show you race 5 from Doomben yesterday, and this in effect was a fair start, but it was several seconds after the starter had actually pushed his button. Gavin Burke realised there was something amiss, and when one horse was slowly away making mischief. Now watch stall 10, he rears in the air and loses many lengths, in fact possibly 8 to 10 lengths. Now Gavin Burke at that stage thought, well, it must have been another malfunction, the gate didn't open. He sounded the hooter. Now several riders, you noticed there, were looking behind to see what had gone wrong. Others took off into the night, and I suppose a few of them there had two thoughts, whether to chase off and hope that it was a race or actually pull out of the event. But it was a disaster, a lot of betting turnover lost. But the BATC, I think, has made the best of a bad situation. They're going to reprogram the Coca-Cola Stakes, the $100,000 race, on April the 9th. They're going to give free admission to the public who missed out on one of the highlights of yesterday's meeting. And the owners of the 13 horses who actually lined up for that race yesterday have been guaranteed a start if they do wish to run their horses on the April 9th Coca-Cola Stakes. So I think congratulations to the club to overcome what is, well, really a disaster for them. The third event from Doomben yesterday was the first leg of the treble. Went to Neil Williams on Miss Stevenson, who started at good odds because she was a last start winner, and a pretty clever ride by Neil as he zoomed around them at the turn.
Zorba Road heads for home and booted away from them. He's 2 lengths in front. Miss Stevenson after him on the outside, and she's joining in pretty quickly. Miss Stevenson, she raced up to Zorba Road. Game Harry into third. Where's the favourite, Mr. Mercury? He's still back behind them and no chance of winning it. Miss Stevenson drew to the lead with 100 yards to go. Game Harry after Miss Stevenson on the outside. Miss Stevenson holding Game Harry as they hit the line. Miss Stevenson first.
Solid effort by the runner-up Game Harry. Now the fourth event from Doomben yesterday wasn't a treble leg. We'll show you this in slow motion. I want to highlight the first up performance of Dancing Poet, who battled on strongly to finish third. The winner was Westbrook Way, who went on his winning way. Now, he's the horse 3 out from the fence. He'd done a lot of work early to put pressure on Mirabin. Coming through in the centre there is King's Currency, and Dancing Poet is the horse 4 out, the baldy face, Shane Scriven going for the whip. You'll notice he just dies on his run in those last 50 metres. Not surprising, it was his first run after a break, and the other two are very solid in condition. Westbrook Way fighting on too strongly for King's Currency. The horse whooshing home into 4th place is Royal Samurai, and his performance very good. I think 2 to follow there, Dancing Poet and Royal Samurai. 7th event was the 3rd leg of the treble, and undoubtedly a horse of the future is Planet Ruler. He was resuming yesterday. He was heavily backed, but Hopetown Star is a very smart restricted sprinter, and he's in front at this stage. Planet Ruler's got to sit on him, and he was just too good.
Defalace is a long way back with Opinair and Gypsy Joe. Hopetown Star the leader. Planet Ruler coming to the outside, and he's popped the big question. By G, he's going to Hopetown Star pretty easily. York getting a little bit anxious now. He's pulled the whip on him. Planet Ruler loomed up on the outside, poked his head in front. It's Planet Ruler a neck clear of Hopetown Star, and he's starting to shoot away the last little bit. By G, the sign of a good horse. Away he goes in the run to the post to score easily. Planet Ruler first, Hopetown Star second.
A lot more to come for Planet Ruler. The action in Sydney yesterday was at Rose Hill. The first leg of the treble down there was the Orlando Wines Classic. It went to Strawberry Fair, who comes with a well-timed burst about the 200 metres in red colours and a blue blinkers, you'll notice. Now, Glory Girl looked to have a winning chance 100 metres out, but the winner was too strong.
Part of their cap, 2 lengths then to Even True and Strawberry Fair, followed by Glory Girl and Listen Easy, and then Judy Ann. At the 250, Alinda draws away from Shinakima, running home reasonably, Glory Girl with Strawberry Fair. Then Lynn's Love and Even True, and Judy Ann struggling. Glory Girl is out after Strawberry Fair. Strawberry Fair, however, a half length on Glory Girl, clear of Even True. Strawberry Fair in front, she's too good. And Strawberry Fair wins the Classic, 3/4 of a length to Glory Girl.
5th, the middle pin of the Rose Hill treble is the Sedgno Stakes. The old Rawson Stakes run over 2,000 metres, and Bozam in blistering form yesterday. He careered away from the opposition in the straight. He's in 5th place on the inside at this stage, just easing out in those Cummings colours of yellow and green. Watch his acceleration from this point.
On Bozam. Maya Card's going backwards at this stage as they come down to the 200 metres. Here is Bozam in full flight, and Bozam in one fell swoop, shot away from Wong. Ostensible Bonomi, Maya Card and Imprimatur, but Bozam, he's a mile too good. Bozam racing away from Bonomi, Maya Card getting going when it's all over.
Not a bad effort by Maya Card there. He looked well beaten in the straight, but battled on well at the finish to hold down 3rd place. He looks as though he's on the way back. 7th event from Rose Hill yesterday went to Lunch on Sunday, starting at 14 to 1. He's in reddish colours. He comes towards the outside of a pack of horses in the straight. Now he's moving out there around the horse at the white colours, which is Nova's edition, and these two fight it out.
Race and then Targlish, 250 out, and Breakfast Creek given a crack with a whip, tackled by Nova Edition. Dream Fate getting up on the inner. Lunch on Sunday chimes into the picture. Nova Edition just in front. Lunch on Sunday after him, and then Barlow, Targlish and Magic Gleam. Lunch on Sunday doing too well. Lunch on Sunday. Lunch on Sunday beat Nova Edition and Arenda.
In Melbourne, the first leg of the treble was the 4th event, the Archer Plate over 2,500 metres, and the John Marr trained Shantaround, starting 9 to 4, landing some big bets here, was too strong. Now, at this stage, as they wheel for home at Flemington, Shantaround is behind quite a few horses in blue colours, but Greg Hall skillfully comes to the outside of them.
Fayette County went to the lead. Shantaround's got out now if it's any good. Fayette County in front, Shantaround under the whip coming out after it. Superior Ways beaten. Fayette County in front of Great Warrior. Shantaround racing greenly. It's after them now. It's Great Warrior putting its head in front of Fayette County. Shantaround down the outside, gradually getting to them. It's almost 3 in line of it. Go straight, it's 1 Shantaround. It's drawn level. Hall straightens it, goes to the line, it wins. Shantaround ahead to Fayette County. And
5th was the Newmarket down the straight 6, and Special scoring again, following up her Lightning Handicap win last start. She again was too classy for them, and Colin Hayes has really got the key to this mare. Franklin Drive, the stablemate, battled on well for 2nd. The disappointment was Snippets, who at this stage is going boldly. One off the fence in the red cap, but he compounds.
Now Snippets has taken the lead. Red Elva's gone from Rancho Ruler. Special's getting out. Snippets in front, Rancho Ruler, Franklin Drive, and now Special's got up on the fence. Special's hit the front in the Newmarket, drawing away from Rancho Ruler and Franklin Drive. And Special's coming away to win it well. By 1 length, the stablemate Franklin Driver, Quinella de Hayes.
7th event from Flemington went to Aussie Consul, starting at 7 to 1, and also well supported, firming in from about 9 to 1. Aussie Consul defeats Princess Calabrina.
star for us further back, Glowing Idol. In the straight they race Princess Calabrina just in front, but Classified Lady's got it covered. Coming at them quickly on the outside is Aussie Consul with a good run at Outdraw, trying to get out, and then Magic Breakfast. Lucky Witch doing nothing at the moment. It's Aussie Consul racing to the lead on the outside now from Princess Calabrina and Classified Lady. Friars Delight getting out when it's all over, and then Lucky Witch, but Aussie Consul just in front near the line, and it'll win. Aussie Consul goes away to win by about a length. Princess Calabrina second. Classified Lady.
Land, Bone Crusher, they said, from New Zealand. And today in the Australian Cup in Melbourne was when we were supposed to decide it. The race of the century, said the pundits, ignoring the English, French and American classics. So who won? An outsider.
There was an air of expectation around the course hours before the big race today. Concern about the weather appeared uppermost in the minds of many, but they need not have worried. Allegiances were clearly divided between the two great adversaries, Bone Crusher and Vo Rogue, in a race which had almost taken on the mystique of a Melbourne Cup.
Who do you like in the Australian Cup today?
Bone Crusher.
Vo Rogue. A sentimental Bone Crusher fan.
Vo Rogue.
A trip to the stables before the event seemed mandatory, and a large crowd was on hand to greet the two fancied horses.
The crowd roars as they swing into the straight now. Vo Rogue by 5. Small gave him a backhander as he straightens in front of Bone Crusher. Stewart's pulled the whip on the New Zealand champion. Orthal's in second placing now from Bahrain. 400 to go. Small had a look around. Vo Rogue still by 5. He's run them off their legs. He's pulled the whip. Small. Here's Dandy Andy running onto second now from Bahrain. Bone Crusher struggling on the inside at the 200, and it's Vo Rogue. He's by 6 legs. Dandy Andy's flying home. He's stopping Vo Rogue. Dandy Andy's coming at him. Dandy Andy's raced to the front. Dandy Andy a boil over. Dandy Andy a length. Second Vo Rogue. 3.5 or 4 lengths away, Bone Crusher.
I mean, only a win can give you anything but some disappointment, okay? But as I say, you've always got to sit back and analyse things in the cold light of day before you can say anything. So we'll just have to wait and see.
A little bit disappointing, but you can't ask anymore.
That's better than running the 6th.
He ran a mighty little race. I thought he was home.
To win at Flemington's a great thing, and to win a race like the Australian Cup, the only thing better than that's the Melbourne Cup, and I doubt whether it'll stay that far, mate.
Some are calling it mission...
Of the 1988 Foster's Bicentennial Inter-Dominion Pacing Championship Grand Final. Now there's one in a gallop. Corral de Gift down in a gallop. Now because JB's fellas had to go on the outside of him, we'll have to wait to see whether they actually declare it a full start. Now Corral de Gift's down and pacing again. Now we'll wait to see what happens with the start. Now he's moved up to the gate again, so he had to slow it down a bit for Corral de Gift to join in, but I think they're going to go. The blue light's on and away they go in the Inter-Dominion Grand Final, and getting away well was our Maestro Palomar with the red shadow roll also kicking up early along with Robert John, and out wide Bag Limit. Vin Knight caught 3 and 4 wide. He's in no man's land at the moment, and as they approach the turn the first time, it's our Maestro on top, the Palomar. 3 wide there is Robert John, followed by Tips Mystery and Corral de Gift in the 1-1. 3 wide on the back there of Robert John is Bag Limit, and he even thought about going 4 wide for a second. Back on the inside, 4th last is Luxury Liner. Behind those, Rufus Youngblood is 3rd last. 2nd last now, JB's Fella, and Village Kid drops out last as they go past the winning post the first time. Just under 3 laps to go now, and it's our Maestro settling down in front to Robert John. Up on the fence behind those then is Tips Mystery, and Bag Limit, who's been 3 wide since the outside, is still posted up there, and Knight will have to do something shortly. In the 1-1 now, Palomar, followed on the rails next then by Luxury Liner. Corral de Gift is back there, 4th last on the outside. Behind those, 3rd last is Rufus Youngblood. 2nd last then is JB's Fella, and last of all still is Village Kid. Well, let's see what's happened up front now. It's my Maestro in front. He's a length in front now of Bag Limit, who's finally got across, but my word, he's had it tough. On the inside, running 3rd is Tips Mystery, and Robert John now lobs into the 1-1 from Luxury Liner. On the outside, behind those, Palomar from Corral de Gift. 3rd last is Rufus Youngblood. 2nd last now, JB's Fella, and last of all, Village Kid. And as the pace starts to slacken a little bit in front, inside a mile to travel, 2 laps to go when they reach the winning post this time. Don't be surprised to see Village Kid take off this time as they go to the back. On top, it's Our Maestro. Bag Limit running second, and third on the fence, Tiff's Mystery. Robert John, the 1-1. Back on the fence, running fifth now, Luxury Liner in the grey colours. In the red and white colours on the outside, 6 Palomar. Followed then by Corral to Give. Third last now is Rufus Youngblood. Second last is JB's Fella. And still Village Kid biding his time back there last of all as they travel to the back. And they've gone through the first 400 metres of the last mile in 31.4 seconds. So they're not making any records up front. It's Our Maestro leading out the Bag Limit, and Village Kid starting to take off from the rear of the field now. And Vin Knight looked around saying, when's he going to come? Is he coming yet? Palomar decides to hook out, and Michael Ilsley's gone up 3 wide. And also going 3 wide with him is Corral to Give, which means Village Kid has momentarily posted 4 wide. And behind that scramble of horses is JB's Fella, and momentarily Rufus Youngblood is last of all as they come down past the half mile with just over a lap to go. Our Maestro on top. In second place is Bag Limit. On the outside is Palomar. Tiff's Mystery behind them with nowhere to go. Between horses is Robert John from Corral to Gift off the track, then Village Kid. Up on the fence, then Luxury Liner. JB's Fella second last, and last of all is Rufus Youngblood. Second quarter, 32.3 as they go to the back when they've got 500 metres to go in the Inter-Dominion Grand Final. Our Maestro's in front. Bag Limit might have had enough. Palomar 3 wide. On the fence, Tiff's Mystery with nowhere to go. 4 and 5 deep as Village Kid. Corral to Gift hooking out 4 deep as well. Robert John going backwards on the inside. Luxury Liner. Behind those, Rufus Youngblood, and last of all, JB's Fella. They've got 300 metres to go in the Inter-Dominion Grand Final. Our Maestro on top. On the outside, Palomar's the danger. Here's Corral to Gift starting to hook 3 and 4 deep. And down the outside will come Village Kid, and JB's Fella's also stormed into the clear. They've got 150 to go. Palomar and Our Maestro. Our Maestro finding plenty. Our Maestro and Johnny Binskin. Our Maestro's won it. Our Maestro beat Palomar. The next one, Tiff's Mystery, followed by Corral to Gift, Luxury Liner, JB's Fella. Behind those, Village Kid, Robert John, Bag Limit second last, and last of all, Rufus Youngblood. But Johnny Binskin, the oldest driver in the race, is here to celebrate his father's 81st birthday with his first ever Inter-Dominion Grand Final. Congratulated there by his son, Darren, and what a mighty performance. Our Maestro, trained by Bob Knight in Kilmore in Victoria, driven by John Binskin, has led from go to woe and has won the Foster's Bicentennial Inter-Dominion Grand Final. What a great performance, and well done, J.E. Binskin. As we said in the lead-up, he's achieved just about everything that harness racing has to offer, but he's never achieved this sort of thrill. Around the turn into the straight, and you'll notice back in the field, JB's Fella really had to push his way out to get a clear run, and just for a moment looked as if it was going to storm home. But there, in those red sleeves, John Binskin on Our Maestro, and on the outside, Michael Ilsley with Palomar settling down to fight it out with Tiff's Mystery punching up on the fence, and Corral to Gift moving into 4th position. But as they come down towards the line, Our Maestro found plenty. Just as Palomar looked as if he was going to race past him, he found another gear, and it's Our Maestro's Inter-Dominion Championship and J.E. Binskin's.
A peak effort for probably 6 or 7 weeks, and it's very hard for him to keep maintaining those outstanding performances and those times he's been recording. And I feel that he probably had gone just over the top of fraction, because if he'd run that race a week earlier, he would have beaten Dandy Andy by 10 lengths. So that's just the difference. Whether Dandy Andy improved a little, I think Beau Rogue went back a fraction, but
the square
not making excuses.
Interesting too.
He beat Bone Crusher.
He did by 5 lengths.
Keep the Kiwis quiet.
And my mother had the trifecta, and she only spent $1 on it. Had Beau Rogue, Bone Crusher, Dandy Andy.
I knew your mother would get into the show.
Wouldn't spend the extra 5 and win us off a couple of $100.
Oh, she'd only have to give it to you, waste it on you, food and drink. Well, we've got the Australian Cup coming up now, and it's Beau Rogue clear as we pick them up, but you can see Dandy Andy coming with giant strides down the outside. As I said, I think it's a combination here. Beau Rogue just going off a little bit, but Dandy Andy finding a bit of improvement.
Beau Rogue by 6 lengths, Dandy Andy second, then Bone Crusher and Bahrain. It's Dandy Andy racing after Beau Rogue. Can it be a boil over? Beau Rogue stopping Dandy Andy's got him. Dandy Andy. Goodness gracious me, Dandy Andy. A length to Beau Rogue. 5 lengths to Bone Crusher.
I think Bill Collins is almost a Queenslander the way that was a Victorian horse, Dandy Andy, getting past Beau Rogue there, and he was most surprised, as well as he might be. Of course, we've got to have bookies, and every now and then they get a result like that, 125 to 1. Good on you, boys. First leg of the treble from Eagle Farm yesterday went to Brian York, who was battling the flu all week. He stood down from his rides at Doomben on Wednesday, and he still wasn't over the effects of that flu yesterday, but he had the others with Coles trying to catch up with him in the third event. He led all the way on Bacata.
A long way back is Pragmatic and Mr. Tambourine Man last of all and under the whip. Straightening up, 400 metres to go. Boy, they'll take plenty of catching this leader. It's Bacata. He's about 4 lengths in front of Santa Brigida. Ideal Time pulled to the outside, starting to make up ground, and then Sandburn, Tamlin and Avantum. Bacata still nicely clear, 200 metres out. The boy getting a little bit anxious on him now. He's going for the whip. He's about 3 lengths in front. Decimal Currency, Sandburn making ground, then Santa Brigida and Ideal Time. But Bacata, he has run them right off their legs. He's run them ragged, and he's won by 3 lengths. Santa Brigida second. Ideal.
Well, Brian York's a real specialist on front runners. He did it again in the 5th event when he scored on Cheval Jazz. He was having only his second run after a break. He showed great improvement on his first up performance. And the Bruce McLaughlin stable is now toying with the idea of rushing him to Sydney for the Doncaster handicap in a fortnight.
Cheval Jazz, and he's careered away from them. 300 metres to go. Cheval Jazz 5 lengths in front. Robin still into second place. Rockhard on the outside. Bit of a lark going backwards at the moment. Cheval Jazz is nicely cleared. 200 metres out. He wants to roll about a little bit. He's 4 lengths in front of Robin, Steele and Rockhard. And this is a great display by Cheval Jazz. Straight to the front at the start, and he's led from go to woe. Cheval Jazz first. Robin Steele second, Rockhard third.
7th event was the Guinness handicap, and 6-year-old Sasha Bijou, who was warming up for a pretty busy couple of months, found his best form yesterday. He appreciated just the sting out of the track. He ran on strongly. He's the grey horse in about 6th or 7th spot in those pink and black colours.
Satiate on the outside. Some Charm coming at the pair of them, and Raw's Fear right down the outside with a big run. Raw's Fear dashed up to them, hit the lead. 200 metres to go. Raw's Fear in front of Some Charm, who's trying hard. Sasha Bijou coming at the pair of them on the outside. It's the old-timer Sasha Bijou grabbing them. Sasha Bijou shoots away from Raw's Fear and Some Charm, and Sasha Bijou was able to win. Sasha Bijou first, Raw's Fear second, Some Charm.
Well, I mentioned he might be in for a busy time. He's got some big cups coming up, the Easter Cup at Eagle Farm, the Toowoomba Cup, over to Adelaide in May for the Adelaide Cup, and then back here for the Brisbane Cup, so he has got quite an assignment. Well, in Sydney yesterday at Rose Hill, it was the big warm-up for the Slipper Day next Saturday, and Mick Dittman, unfortunately, may not be there. He was suspended following an inquiry into interference in the straight in the opening event. Dittman out until April 2. He has indicated that he will appeal against the decision. We'll show you now the slow-mo, and it's Dittman's Mount Vain Royale moving up on the outside. You can see 3 horses inside him, including the grey Crown Hope and the one in the yellow colours, Protrero, badly interfered with. Now, Vain Royale's clear at this stage, but is swamped by Regaletto coming down the outside. Now, those interfered horses have balanced up again, but they lost 3 or 4 lengths in that incident, particularly Protrero, who does well in those gold colours to get going again and finish 5th. But it's Regaletto from the Bart Cummings stable, and what a day it was for Cummings yesterday. He's careering away, Vain Royale getting tired. Prince Havilar and Harlan Staff fill the placings, and the good run in the race from the 5th placed Protrero. Well, the first leg of the Rose Hill treble yesterday was the Rose Hill Guineas, the Inglis Rose Hill Guineas, and it was Cummings again scoring with the favourite Sky Chase. And there's a chance now he'll take on his glamour stablemate Bozam in the Derby in a fortnight. It's Sky Chase out in the green and gold colours down the centre of the track.
Regard, 2 lengths to Sky Chase, and then Brixton Town. Ma Wong is next at the 200. Hunter ahead in front from High Regard. Here's Sky Chase joining in, and then Brixton Town. And Don't Play runs home at the 100 metres. And Sky Chase draws to the lead in the Rose Hill Guineas, and the favourites coming away. Sky Chase clear of Hunter, and then Brixton Town. And it's an easy one for Sky Chase from Brixton Town.
5th event was the Ryder Stakes, and it was Cummings yet again scoring here with Campaign King, who took out this event last year. He had to be shaken up with the whip by John Marshall to assert his superiority, but he defeated Star Sunrise. The Queenslander Prince Anton ran a nice 4th.
Anton at the 300 metres, and Wong a length and 3/4 on Campaign King. He's making ground now, the King. He's taking very, very big strides. He's after Wong. He's almost level, Campaign King. He's in front now. Star Sunrise runs home pretty well, but it's all Campaign King, and Campaign King wins well from Star Sunrise. Now for third.
We want to show you the slow-mo of the final stages of the Ryder Stakes, and you'll notice the Queenslander Prince Anton, who figures in the steward's report, is actually cramped for room. He looked well beaten when they straightened up, and in the last 100 metres he was starting to do some nice work again. Now it's Campaign King going after Wong. Star Sunrise and Prince Anton are the 2 right behind Campaign King. At this stage, there's probably a length and a half to 2 lengths between Campaign King and Prince Anton, but right on the line, Prince Anton's on the winner's heels. Star Sunrise not giving him any room to come outside Campaign King, and I think it cost Prince Anton third placing and possibly second placing, but it's Campaign King edging clear at this stage of Wong. Star Sunrise in the green, and watch Peter Cook on Prince Anton. He has to sit up just coming to the line, and certainly it cost Prince Anton third place. And possibly if he'd had a little more room over those final 100 metres, he could have finished second to Campaign King. Third leg of the Rosehill Treble, and it wasn't all bad news for Mick Dittman. He scored here on the Melbourne stayer, Our Palliser, who's the widest runner in the green and white colours and the red cap, and he outslugs them in the straight.
Followed by Round the World, and Mountebank is wide out on the track, and he's plodding home with Our Palliser coming into it. Happy View joined by Round the World, and the Deed gets a split, and Our Palliser next from Mountebank. Our Palliser right down the extreme outside has taken the lead. Our Palliser in front with 100 to go, but here's Nadeed after him. Round the World the inside, and then Mountebank kicking back. Our Palliser in front, and Our Palliser. Our Palliser's just beaten.
Well, that was the action from Rose Hill yesterday. We're switching now to Melbourne, and the first leg of the treble down there went to Special. What an autumn carnival she's had. She went on her winning way again yesterday. Just a little too classy for them. She's in a handy third spot as they straighten.
Special Testimony took the lead. Special grabbed it quickly. Courier Bay going for the split in the centre. Special's taken the lead with 100 to go, and she's a great mare. She's going to win. Special down to the line to win by a half length. Smashed the course record to smithereens, I think.
Bart Cummings might be sitting pretty in Sydney, thinking he's got the AJC Derby parcelled up with Bozam and or Sky Chase, but here's one to keep his team honest, because Flotilla showed his class yesterday to take out the Alistair Clark Stakes, and he's headed home now to take on the Derby.
To Impazera, Mr. Dynamite, and Flotilla's running for the Roses. Flotilla down to the line, leads all the way, wins by 3. Mr. Dynamite second, and neck away Impazera third.
Seventh was the Diamond Jubilee Stakes, and it went to Bianco Flyer, the heavily backed favourite at 6 to 4. And Bianco Flyer's now headed to Sydney to take on the Doncaster.
Bianco Flyer took the lead about a neck in front when they straightened over on the inside. Sister Shirley, then Lady Lindland, but Bianco Flyer's going to win the money. And the favourite Quadrella's got in. Scores ahead, Bianco Flyer. 3 lengths, Jarrah might have got third, and nose.
Well, that was the action from the Melbourne meeting yesterday. And, of course, it is Golden Slipper Stakes at Rose Hill next Saturday. $1.5 million in prize money up for grabs. A lot of prestige. Veteran Melbourne trainer Angus Armanasco has already taken out the slipper once with full-on aces. He's also won 4 Blue Diamond Stakes, and he's heading for another slipper success next week with Zedative, who confirmed his rating as the favourite with his victory at Rose Hill yesterday. John Brady from the Sydney office does a profile here on Angus Armanasco.
He hardly cuts a striking figure in the early morning bustle of track work, but then around the stalls it's hard to tell the champs from the chumps. It's out on the track where class shows.
And Full on Aces wins the slipper of 81.
He might beat them all, Tolerance, he will. What a performance.
Zedative's going to win the Blue Diamond.
At Biscay, Bletchingley and Star Kingdom, and you see why Angus Armanasco is all class as a racehorse trainer.
I've been in the racing since I was 40 of age, and I'm not very far away from 80 now. So that's how long I've been in the racing. If you haven't learnt something by then, you're a real duffer.
Angus is one of the few who shades Sydney's Tommy Smith in terms of time on the turf. And if TJ's 5 slippers make him king of Sydney's racing kids, Angus's 4 Blue Diamonds and the 1981 slipper place him supreme when it comes to Melbourne 2-year-olds.
I suppose it must be my training methods and things that I wouldn't do, and I do a lot that they wouldn't do, but my score's on the board, and theirs are on the board too, so...
Still, Angus's Sydney luck hasn't always been good. He's done most of his hunting in Melbourne, and it's no wonder why when he tells you of his first attempt to capture prize money up here.
I started off, my first trip to Sydney was going to be with a horse called Timor and Zariba. And they, halfway, just past Goulburn, they went over the cliff in the float, and that was the end of them.
You got Full on Aces to win the slipper, but you'd had some great horses not winning the slipper beforehand that people thought would.
Yeah, well, Biscay came up for the slipper. I think he ran third. And Star of Heaven, he was also third or fourth. The Tolerance, he came up, he ran second. And then, of course, my last horse up here was True Version, who should have won the slipper. He was... got a very interrupted run down the straight, and he ran third, come from nearly last. Hell of a good horse, True Version.
Full on Aces is still his only slipper winner, but now he believes he's found another, Zeditave, and the only man arguing is Tommy Smith.
Star Watch is cantering down to the line and he wins, pulling up by 5 lengths to Pleasant Moment.
Experts will tell you he appears to be the more brilliant of the two horses, Star Watch.
I think I might go along with that too, but I know what horse I'd sooner have for the slipper, because I know my horse won't be very far away from Star Watch, and Star Watch will surprise me if he comes home as hard as Zeditave. Zeditave is a real racehorse.
Hamanasco says Zeditave will be stronger for yesterday's Pago, and punters and jockeys alike remain convinced the slipper will be a two-horse race.
You know, racing's a funny game. You look at Bone Crusher and Vo Rogue last week. 100 to 1 shot comes out and knocks them both off, but I don't really think that can happen with these two horses, because I think they're both outstanding racehorses, and you know, I think the coin can go either way, but it's going to be a great contest.
Meanwhile, there are plans to steal the thunder from the slipper itself. Still under strict quarantine, 3 European thoroughbreds out to take on the locals in the Tancred Stakes. Heading the list is La Gloria, winner of the Japan Cup and the Washington Invitation. Along with him is French champ Pleasant and England's Island Chieftain.
It's the first time we've had international runners, you see, and it gives good guide to the strength of the Australian horses.
The horses have their first work at Rosehill on Wednesday. Next Saturday, they take on the likes of Bone Crusher, Bozam, Maya Card and Our Waverley Star.
It's a sign of whether our horses are world class or whether we're second class. So, you know, that in itself is worth the risk.
And winner will really clean up.
A very interesting preview to the big slipper meeting.
1,200 metres course in which post positions are vital. Star Watch and Zeditave on the extreme outside of the field. Now Zeditave, Greg Hall actually gave the gateman some assistance to shepherd Zeditave into the gates, and he moves up on the extreme outside of the field now. Greg Hall about to remount, and the starter Billy Dale is about to dispatch the field in the Bicentennial Tui's Golden Slipper Stakes. All set. Off and running in the slipper of 88, and Pleasant Moment and Scarlata both a little bit slow to move at the start. Scarlet Biss began brilliantly, and she's the early leader over Startling Lass. Star Watch on the extreme outside began quickly. Eager Ninja in a good spot, so is Comely Girl, followed closely by Dalkari. Then Regional Star trapped out very deep with Molokai Prince and Zeditave 4 and 5 wide as they come through the gap onto the course proper. Further back Scarlata, followed by Full and By, and then Research, Temple Front. Nanyatara well back with Pleasant Moment and Astrologist at the tail of the field. Eager Ninja just led Startling Lass at the 600 mark. A length and a half to Scarlet Bisque on the outside of Dalkari. A length and a half to Star Watch, who's out deep on the outside of Comely Girl, followed by Scarlata, and then Zeditave as they near the turn, and coming right around the outside of the field is Temple Front, who's pushed very wide on the corner. Into the straight, Eager Ninja led over Startling Lass, Scarlata on the rail, and then Dalkari, Scarlet Bisque, followed by Star Watch, Comely Girl behind a wall of horses, and Zeditave out into the clear now, starting to come home hard. Startling Lass took the lead. Here comes Star Watch. Star Watch is coming at Startling Lass. Comely Girl late on the scene. Star Watch headed Startling Lass close to home. Comely Girl won't pick them up, and Star Watch has won the slipper. Star Watch beat his stablemate Comely Girl. Startling Lass has run third. Pleasant Moment has come from last to run fourth, a super run. And then Zeditave and Scarlet Bisque and Eager Ninja, who ran a big race, followed by Scarlata, Full and By, Dalkari, Temple Front, Nanyatara, and then Astrologist and Research, and the last couple of Molokai Prince and Regional Star in the slipper.
With a well-timed run. Now he's moving along the outside in those green and red colours. Got a bit of a bump there, but he balances Night Raider up and chases out after the leader, which is Machine Gun, who looked as though he was going to be hard to get past at the 200 metres. But here comes Night Raider, and here's this familiar Shoemaker style. He's not big on the kick, not a lot of leg action there, probably just as well because he's got a very, very bad fracture of his right leg, which he has left him with a very bad limp. But you can see he was very pleased that the winning post was coming up. I think he'd had enough on the line. Night Raider was full of running, but the shoe was pleased that it was the end of the 1350 metres. He was very emotional. He was drained physically and emotionally after the race. It took well over an hour for him to recover, and in fact the doctor ordered a little bit of oxygen for the shoe to help his recovery. He took off over 6 kilos in a week. That was a fantastic effort. First leg of the Doomben treble yesterday, the third event, the graduation for the fillies and mares, went to Aqaba. This is a strong win because she was trapped out 3 and 4 wide all the way and went to the post strongly.
Ray and Bon Antonio when they turn. Princess Who straightened in front at the 300. Akabar's not done with yet. Trevor pulls the whip. Akabar went to the front and past the distance pole. Akabar drew 3/4 to Princess Who. Then My Maxine and Ginza Pearl, but Akabar in front 100 metres out. Much too strong, the favourite, pulling away in the drive to the line. Akabar, a big winner. Didn't see much.
The fifth went to Golden Cheer, well ridden by Mick Aspinall. He was trapped a bit deep early, hustled him up to the lead, and while he had a few challenges in the straight, it always appeared as though he was the one they had to catch. Golden Cheer is now going to run in the reprogrammed Coca-Cola in a fortnight.
2.5 to Dig Bletch, then Top Colt and Let Me Dance is under pressure. Golden Cheer in front at the 200. Dig Bletch desperately ridden coming after Golden Cheer. Golden Cheer in front. Dig Bletch trying hard to run Golden Cheer down. Golden Cheer a half in front. Dig Bletch driving at it but not quickly enough, and Golden Cheer wins. Golden Cheer.
One to follow from the Chandlers, the third place getter, Alameen Warrior. He's now a certain starter in the Power Brewing Classic at Caloundra on April the 16th, and I think he's going to be very hard to beat in the 1400 metre race up there. Third leg of the Doomben Treble went to the favourite Hopetown Star. Gave his backers plenty of worries in the early and middle part. He was slowly away, but Chris Muntz handled him very sensibly. Now he's coming down the middle of the track in the green and black colours.
Now Muntz pulls the whip on Hopetown Star, and here comes the favourite right down the centre of the track. Hopetown Star hit the front 150 out from Eldonell, Princely Current and Robbery Road. Hopetown Star in front. Eldonell can't go with him. Hopetown Star wins. Hopetown Star beat Eldonell.
Now we switch our attention to the Rosehill meeting yesterday. It was Slipper Day, and we're getting straight into the top action because he's the Golden Slipper and Larry Olsen, and what a performance by top trainer Tommy Smith to provide the Quinella result here. We're going to get round to it in a minute.
Tackled by Startling Lass, followed by Scarlet Bisque. Scarlata gets up on the inside from Del Curry, and at the head of the others then on the extreme outside, battling on pretty well, Zetatave. At the 200 metres, Startling Lass the leader. Star Watch now goes after it. Zetatave can't win. Star Watch puts its head in front from Startling Lass. Comely Girl in third place, but Star Watch is coming away, and Star Watch wins the Golden Slipper.
We'll show you the slow-mo now and the expertise of Olsen. Star Watch inclined to shift in a little bit in the final 200 metres. He's not a vigorous rider, Olsen. Horses just travel for him. You can see just hands and heels. He's holding Star Watch off Startling Lass, the Queensland-owned filly on the inside, who'd done plenty of work up front, but Star Watch too good. And it's Comely Girl, a stablemate of the winner, running on strongly to get second, cutting Startling Lass out of the runners-up check. But Star Watch just hands and heels by Olsen. What a great rider he is, and $1 million to the Tommy Smith trained Star Watch. Second leg of the Rosehill Treble, all the way to Imprimatur. Good result here for the bookies. And the runner-up Swift Cheval ran on strongly, but was never a chance of overhauling the leader.
Finish a length Royal Reel, then Kaylan, followed by Bocata, Franklin Drive, and then Swift Cheval Balciano. At the 300, Imprimatur a length and a half clear on Golden Dome and special finish. Swift Cheval making some ground up on the inside, and Bocata heads the others at the 200 metres and past it, and the leader is still Imprimatur. It's Imprimatur a length clear, Swift Cheval special finish. They're not getting to Imprimatur, and Imprimatur will win it well. Imprimatur a length and a half to Swift Cheval.
Well, sharing top billing on Slipper Day at Rosehill is always the Tancred Stakes. It was billed as an international clash yesterday, and significantly it was the 3-year-old Beau Zam racing in the green and gold of Australia, also Bart Cummings' stable colours, and he just exploded away in the straight. What an outstanding 3-year-old he is. He looks to have the AJC Derby at his mercy.
And then La Gloria and Grosvenor Square, but down to the 250, and Beau Zam raced away. Beau Zam a length and a half clear. Highland Chieftain's gone to second from Vaguely Pleasant, and then La Gloria, but at the 100, it's all Beau Zam. He's got the international one. Beau Zam racing right away. Second placing Highland Chieftain could go for third, but Beau Zam, what a brilliant colt he is. And Beau Zam...
Super colt Beau Zam. Can't work out how he was beaten in the Caulfield Cup last year. The final leg of the Rosehill Treble went to Jim Cassidy on Investor, who shared the lead coming to the home turn, and despite racing a little erratically under the whip in the straight, he was much too good.
Grandio's getting up on the inside, and then comes Dream Faith, and further back Fearless Hand and Rendu. Investors just in front of Royal Hand out at the 200. Grandio's making no ground on them, then Dream Faith, but Investor on the outside. He's about a half length clear. He's racing very greenly, but he shot right away Investor from Royal Hand out, then Grandio's and Dream Faith, but this is a breeze for Investor. By geez, really solid now, and Investor wins pulling up.
The Flemington meeting yesterday, one of the highlights was the Sires Produce Stakes. It was expected to be a cakewalk for Vitalik, who was long odds on. He struck trouble in the middle part and was beaten by the Tommy Smith-trained Wonder Dancer, who also struck trouble. So I guess the honours of the race must go with the winner.
Jazz struggling. Here's Wonder Dancer coming out after them. Vitalik pulled to the outside with Glowing Tribute, starting to run on well. Wonder Dancer tackling Kingston Heritage, who had gone to the lead at the 200. Then Acid Test, Vitalik out wide with Glowing Tribute. Vitalik, Glowing Tribute out after Wonder Dancer. Wonder Dancer in front, shot clear. Vitalik on the outside trying to get to it. What a certainty beaten. Wonder Dancer scores a length to Vitalik. Third.
Jet Fighter took out the fifth event from Flemington, landing some good bets too, firming from 8s into 13 to 2, and he's to tackle the Victoria Handicap at Caulfield next Saturday.
It was followed by Rocky Mac. Winter trying to find somewhere to go at the head of the others. In the straight they race, and Mouton got the better of Mahogany Road. Jet Fighter coming at it. Dazzling Duke under the whip. Captain Police and Winter running on fairly. Mouton clear of Jet Fighter at the 200-metre mark, holding it at bay. They're well clear of Dazzling Duke, and then Winter. Now Jet Fighter getting to Mouton with 100 to go. Behind them, Dazzling Duke. Foamy Ocean the outside from Winter, but Jet Fighter's got to the lead, and it's going to beat Mouton and Foamy Ocean.
Foamy Ocean was good effort to run on solidly, just pinching second right on the line. He might be one to follow. Seventh event from Flemington, the Bradfield Handicap, and a 20-to-1 winner here with Prolong, who's well back, in fact only in front of a few horses at this stage in the blue and white colours, coming across the heels right to the outside.
They're closing on the leaders. Jack and Ori Jones still just in front of Lord Diamo. Brilliant Invasion getting between them. Place Your Order is battling on under the whip, and then Consummate, and here's Prolong. Iskra can't win. 200 to go. Brilliant Invasion got to the lead, but Prolong has grabbed it from Consummate. Prolong has taken the lead. Consummate is battling on and out wide of Raj Quartet, but Prolong is going to win. Close for the minors. Raj Quartet probably second.
Well, that's our racing segment this morning. We should remind trainers too to note the important date on Tuesday at noon. The nominations closed for the Rothmans 100,000 and Cup, and the big events just round the corner now, Pat.
Well, what about the possibility of Bone Crusher? He was withdrawn from the Tancred yesterday.
Yeah, well, I think they've got a few problems there, and Connections have said he's going home. I don't think they've got Brisbane on their itinerary. It's a shame that he did miss the Tancred, but I don't think he could have matched it with Beau Zam. So obviously, he was just not at his best in the Australian Cup. I don't think he could have beaten Beau Rogue in his current form. Of course, Beau Rogue was beaten on the day, but I just think Bone Crusher is probably a few lengths off the horse we saw in that epic struggle in the Cox Plate. And it is interesting that both those horses, Our Waverley Star and Bone Crusher, have not really regained the form they showed. Both went to Japan, and maybe the trip, they had problems there. Bone Crusher in particular had the virus, and it is a worry. 3-year-old. If he does gain a start up there, 1,300 metres is going to be tailor-made for him. Of course, we've got meetings tomorrow. We've got an Eagle Farm meeting, which is on despite a jockey's boycott, and we've got a Gold Coast and Caloundra.
Yesterday, we still saw a crowd of 26,811 hopeful punters turn out at Royal Randwick for Derby Day 1988, and the occasion of the first $1 million derby in Australia. In fact, it carried 1.1 million, and the sensational 3-year-old Beau Zam won his second $1 million race in the space of 7 days. Amazingly, he won yesterday by exactly the same margin by which he won the Tancred Stakes the previous Saturday, and that was 5.5 lengths. So a total of 11 lengths in winning those two great races, the Tancred and the Derby. In the big one yesterday, he just coasted along in third place all the way to the turn, and once Johnny Marshall let him loose on top of the rise, the race was over in a twinkling. Now, we're going to pick up the Derby field in the back straight, about 1,400 metres out, and the Tommy Smith-trained Might is the leader, and led by a length and a half over Hunter. Now, Beau Zam is coasting in third place at the moment. He's up near the lead, out of trouble, and John Marshall rode him a copybook race. Now, the New Zealand filly It's Candide, who's here for the Oaks next Wednesday, ran a very good race. She's up on the rails running fourth as they race towards the top turn. At the head of the others, Grosvenor Square. He's in black and yellow colours and travels 3 deep most of the way in the Derby. Brixton Town in yellow colours with the black cap is close handy, and then Zama Kima. Another filly, Impazira, is about midfield in pale green colours. She was one of only 2 fillies in the race yesterday. And Mr. Dynamite at the head of the others, but up to approach the turn, and still Might is the leader. Hunter in hot pursuit,
But look at the favourite, the 4-to-1 on favourite, Bozam, a length away in third place in the green and gold colours with the white cap, just tracking those 2 leaders into the straight. There's It's Candide running fourth on the inside as they turn for home, followed by Brixton Town and Impazira and Zama Kima at the head of the others. But over the rise, watch Marshall. He takes a peep over the left shoulder. He knows he's got the 2 leaders covered. Now he says go, and the acceleration that Bozam shows at the end of these long-distance races reminds me very much of the great Kingston Town. He just leaves the opposition floundering in his wake, and away goes Bozam, as I said, to win his $2 million race in the space of 7 days. He started 4-to-1 on. Brixton Town ran home solidly to get second, and Hunter was third. Bozam takes his earnings to in excess of $1.9 million and is the all-time greatest stakes earner on the Australian turf. Yesterday's win took him past the previous record holder, Bone Crusher. Now we move on to the Adrian Knox Stakes, and Robert Sangster had the pleasure of seeing his colours carried to victory per medium of Lady Liberty, who scored a very lucky win over her stablemate Bravery. If you ran this race over 10 times, I reckon Bravery would win it 9 times. Let's pick them up on the home corner, and Tajara on the inside is just the leader over Lady Liberty. In third place as they swing around the turn is Miss Spice, followed by Spending on the rail. I Like Crystal in the white cap is starting to weaken out of it. Now in green colours, Palace Revolt is putting in a strong run. Now Bravery is on the right-hand side of your screen. Between horses, red jacket, white sleeves, red cap, hard ridden by Jim Cassidy, and she really gets going. Moving to third now. Watch the way she comes home. Lady Liberty is weakening. Palace Revolt in the centre, and Bravery absolutely mowing him down on the outside, but too late. And that leader, Lady Liberty, at 14-to-1, well ridden by Gavin Duffy, lasted to beat the desperately unlucky Bravery, and Palace Revolt was third. Well, by the time the Doncaster handicap came around, a pea soup fog rolled in over Randwick Racecourse, and just watch them coming through the murk and gloom in the Doncaster as they near the home turn, where Wong is out in front with a very big lead. He's about 6 in front of Prince Anton, High Regard running third, followed by Swift Cheval, and then Targlish and Balciano, Sound Horizon and Sky Chase about 7th as they turn the corner. Now, about to swing for home, and the ultimate winner, Lygon Arms, is about 3rd or 4th last on the turn into the straight. On the right-hand side of your screen in dark blue and yellow colours, and you won't see much of him until the race is nearly all over. Wong in front over the rise. The first to go after him is Prince Anton. High Regard behind those with Balciano. Now Sky Chase on the extreme outside in the white cap, and here comes Lygon Arms. Look at him bursting onto the scene. Sky Chase ran out and hampered him ever so slightly, but Lygon Arms continued with that powerful burst. Sound Horizon was the one to burst through near the centre, but right on the line, Lygon Arms did best, and at succulent odds of 40-to-1, he won the Doncaster by a neck over Sound Horizon, ridden by Nigel Tiley. Now, our Waverley Star came from last. He came right through on the inside rail to get third, and that was his first glimpse of form in a long, long time, our Waverley Star. Now, the chairman's handicap was race 7, and this is looked upon as a dress rehearsal for next Saturday's Sydney Cup, and there were plenty of good Sydney Cup trials in the race. The winner, Round the World, returned to her best form. She was placed in last year's Brisbane Cup and is right back to her best again. Now let's pick them up as they turn for home in the chairman's handicap. And Copper Tonic is in front. In second place, the Brotherhood in the pale green colours near the inside, starting to weaken. Mountie Bank in the white blinkers, given the run of the race by Jim Cassidy, is about to loom up on the outside. Behind those pink sleeves, pink cap is Concord Flyer. Now, the ultimate winner, Round the World, is dashing through between horses in the pink with the black hoop sleeves and the black cap. Further out, the heavily backed Our Palliser in Kerry Packer's green and white hoops and a red cap. Now, Round the World gets clear, but look at Banderol, a New Zealander absolutely flying home when it's all over, coming from near last on the home turn. That was a terrific Sydney Cup trial, but Round the World at odds of 9-2 beat the fast-finishing Banderol, and Our Palliser backed into favouritism at 13-4. Was indeed a very good third. Mountie Bank disappointing in the run home after having enjoyed a perfect run in transit. Yesterday's meeting at Caulfield in Victoria marked the end of a very distinguished career for one of Australia's most highly respected race callers in Bill Collins. Bill bowed out with a great day's work, and by way of a tribute to a man who started his career in 1954 with Radio 3DB in Melbourne, and progressed through many years of expert work on metropolitan race courses in Melbourne. The last race yesterday was fittingly called the Bill Collins Farewell Handicap, and this is the way Bill bowed out.
Bold Lily looking for the run. Here's Taffeta Bow coming around them on the outside. Wings on her heels trying to get out from Fairmar. Then came Our Monique and Flying Crystal is well out of it with Liberty Slipper and Intisari. Taffeta Bow raced up to join the leader on the corner. It's Taffeta Bow just in front of Iolani Bay, Bold Lily. They were followed by Wings on her heels, Casanora, and further back is Winter Solstice. Iolani Bay fighting back with Taffeta Bow and Casanora under the whip on the outside. Iolani Bay beat off Taffeta Bow, drew 2 lengths in front, then Casanora followed by Crown Style and Wings on her heels, but Iolani Bay is going to win brilliantly in the run home. Scores by 2.5 lengths. Intisari second, third Crown Style.
Yes, the same cool, calm, confident style that became the hallmark of Bill Collins throughout a long and distinguished career. On behalf of punters throughout Australia, we congratulate Bill on a magnificent job well done. He'll be kept busy because he's chairman of the Greyhound Control Board in Victoria and also a member of the Board of Directors of broadcasting station 3UZ, so he certainly won't be idle. But Bill, congratulations on a magnificent job over a long period of years, and that comes from your fellow commentators throughout Australia and a legion of punters who've thrilled to thousands of great race calls. Lou, he was called the accurate one, and that was certainly a fitting description.
About 3 lengths clear over Mother Duck as they head up for home. Special is moving through on the inside of Mother Duck, is giving Snippets a good start. And here's Isomer down the outside going to second now in front of Special, but Snippets on a tight rein is doing it well. I don't think they'll get the Snippets. Peter looking over the shoulder, and Special and Isomer are fighting out the second placing, but Snippets well in front. Isomer and Special battling out the second, and down the outside Magic Gleam, but Snippets treats them.
An easy win by several lengths. Second Isomer, third Magic Gleam. Snippets paid $4.15 for the win. In the other big race, the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, Meyercard was fancied but was unplaced. Winner was Orthal, second Sensible, and third Algonquin Club. The pickings at Randwick and Caulfield. At Randwick, the treble, Comely Girl, Snippets and Semstar paid $223.40, and at Caulfield, the treble, Fox Seal, King of Brooklyn and Confucius Flyer paid $139. But where racing was concerned, how about 75,000 people at Oakbank today? That's in Adelaide, if you didn't know, with a crowd second only to those who watched the Melbourne Cup, in this case to watch steeplechasing. They found a hero, a snowy mountain horse called River Amos. He cost less than $500. This afternoon jumped all 27 fences of the Great Eastern Steeplechase faultlessly, leading from the start.
It's River Amos clear going over the second last one. He's 15 in front. It'll be Famous Amos for sure if he clears the last. Second placing Kurdu. Kanahai lost his rider. He landed in the crowd. And then the riderless Tara Ruler. Linear and next. I reckon Red Roadie might run a place or old Zamanoff. But over the last, there he goes. He let him go. And it's Famous Amos. Oakbank's 88. He'll win the Great Eastern. The Dandy Hands with a dandy win. Famous Amos. River Amos will come on and score by 15 lengths or so. Second, the riderless horse Tara Ruler, forget him. Second, in fact, will go to Kurdu. Zamanoff, the grand old South Australian, in a go for third with Kua Prince. Kua Prince gets third, but River Amos wins.
Running of the Store Gift over 120 metres. Bookmakers had Antonich as the 10-to-1 on favourite. It clocked the fastest semi-final time of 12.38 seconds and was running off 6 metres.
Set and racing. Start got away well, so did Antonich. Dynance dwelled out of the blocks a little bit, and Antonich has got to the start. O'Dwyer down on the inside running strongly, but I think Antonich is going to win. At the 100, it's Antonich leading across on the outside. His start, Antonich wins and pulls up sore. Antonich has done a hamstring.
Despite the agony, it was smiles all round from Antonich after the race, and the $20,000 winner's cheque would have done him no harm either.
It's hard work, and after last year's disappointment, it's good to come back a winner.
When did the hamstring go? Just right on the line?
Just right on the line, yeah. Felt good up to that line. Just when it hit the line, it went.
Are you feeling it at all now?
No.
Going in the mounting yard was slushy underfoot. Not all the fillies were mud runners. Fashion-wise, hems were down and bonnets up for the annual Easter parade. Betting-wise on the big one, Bravery, trained by Brian Mayfield Smith, was a solid favourite, while stablemate Lady Liberty carried the hopes of Robert Sangster. The Oaks is one race that has escaped him in the past. Correct weight was declared early in the bonnet parade for Mary Coppins, whose fashion form wasn't confined to hats.
Both stablemates are
think Savannah City like the wet better, but and Candide.
Not a bad prediction, Mary. Savannah City, ridden by Peter Cook, and It's Candide were both in the finish.
Down to the 200, and Tennessee Vane on the extreme outside, but here comes Savannah City, Lady Liberty, and It's Candide, and Savannah City and Peter Cook have taken the lead in the Oaks. They're coming away, Savannah City from Lady Liberty, It's Candide, and Savannah City. Another big...
Savannah City first from Lady Liberty, another second for Robert Sangster, with It's Candide third. Savannah City was bought by retired kiwi fruit grower Ash Daly.
Centimetres in it. We'll get to that shortly. Race 3 from Randwick yesterday. We'll pick up the action from the Sydney meeting. And it went to Bayonet, ridden by Jim Cassidy. You can see they're scouting very deep on the track. The inside section was badly cut up after more than a week of non-stop rain.
Sticking to the inside rail is Tour of Beauty, and then Distant Fields and Gallery Star, and Carlos is next from Nanutara. Over the rise they come. They're all over the shop here. Paris Weekend, Bayonet and Carlos. On the inside, Tour of Beauty is tending to bog down at the 150. Forget Paris Weekend. Bayonet still shows the way. Carlos on the inside kicking back. It's Carlos cutting down Bayonet, but Cassidy getting everything out of Bayonet. It holds Carlos, then Nanutara.
Race 4 was the all-age stakes, and it went to Sound Horizon. He certainly deserved his victory. He was runner-up in the Doncaster last week to Ligon Arms. And yesterday, starting at the surprisingly good odds of 15-2, as much as 8-1 was bet about Sound Horizon, he was too good for the favourite Campaign King. He's in front at this stage, the distinctive white face there of Campaign King. Sound Horizon is in blue collars, one from the outside. The widest runner, our Waverley Star.
And Campaign King leads a half length on Bianco Flyer, 2 lengths to Sound Horizon, and Rajamar sticking on at the 300. Campaign King, he hasn't gone for him yet, a half length on Sound Horizon, who's coming right down the outside. Now Marshall goes for Campaign King. Has he got much left? Sound Horizon's cutting him down. Sound Horizon takes the lead, and this proven mudlark, Sound Horizon, is coming away. Campaign King second and third, Rajamar, but Sound Horizon wins the all-aged.
Well, the Sydney Cup is always a tough race, 3,200 metres, but the way they were scouting wide yesterday, it was more like about 3,800 metres, and it was Banderol who was just able to nose out Round the World. You'll notice as they straighten Round the World right on the outside, she seems to lose momentum badly, and it appears Banderol slips about a half length clear of her. Now, Round the World is in those purple colours, pink and purple colours, one from the outside.
Banderol coming into it stylishly, followed by Copper Tonic, Semstar, and then Might. Over the rise they come, and Banderol takes the lead. Round the World about a half length away second, sticking on. And then Copper Tonic at the 200 metres. Round the World, she's refusing to surrender. She and Banderol, the 2 favourites. Round the World, the outside. She's coming at Banderol. She's got her head in front. Round the World and Banderol. Round the World, Banderol, stride for stride. Round the World, Banderol. Banderol! I think Banderol's won the Cup.
Yes, it was Banderol who got the nod there, but gee, how exasperating for John Marshall after going 3,200 metres, or a lot further really, and then to be nosed out by centimetres right on the line. We'll show you the slow-mo of the final stages now, and we'll show you the courage of Round the World. As I said, Banderol came from behind her at the turn, appeared to get a half length in front, but Round the World right on the outside responds valiantly to John Marshall's desperate riding, and it appears at this stage she's going to get the better of Banderol. Now, right here, Marshall claimed he hit a bit of a wet patch, and Banderol was able to slip back again on the inside, and as they go to the wire, it's head and head. It's just that which one gets the nod in on the line, and it happened to be Banderol, completing a remarkable day for the O'Sullivan family. Dave O'Sullivan and his son Paul took out the Television New Zealand Stakes with Horlicks, who upset Bone Crusher over there at Ellerslie yesterday. Bone Crusher is some chance, incidentally, to come to Australia to race at Canberra on May the 8th. Event from Randwick was the Hallmark Stakes, and it went to Tumble On, the Canberra sprinter. He's now headed to Brisbane. He's going to tackle the Rothmans 100,000 at Doomben on April 30. It's Tumble On in front.
Lead to half to 3/4 of a length on Tumble On, a length to Targlish getting up on the inner, and 2 to Bigamy and a length LA Streak. On top of the rise, well in the straight. Tumble On again raced up on the outside to take the lead. Targlish second. Investor immediately under pressure, and Tumble On at the 200. He's about a half to 3/4 of a length on Targlish, and then comes Investor. Tumble On. He's holding Targlish clear of Investor and then LA Streak. Tumble On, the big long striding horse from Canberra, getting a little tired. Targlish won't quite get him though, and Tumble On wins again.
Race 7 was the Packer Plate, and it was really starting to tumble down, not tumble on. in the running of this event. It went to Serrastrina, who was ridden by Ross Elliott, and Wayne Wilson was down Sydney during the week, and he's put big raps on this Kiwi apprentice. You'll notice he's not a real stylist at the finish, but obviously the horses go well for him, and I think once he gets a little bit more experienced and polished, he's going to be a very top rider.
Inside rail, and on the extreme outside of the rest, Harlan Star's now gone up, and so too on the outside has Serrastrina, and 2 lengths to Big Top, and Lygon Arms is on the extreme outside. Now at the 220 metres, it looks like Serrastrina's the leader here, the New Zealand filly. Serrastrina from Harlan Star, Great Quest on the inner, forget the rest. It's Serrastrina in front, Harlan Star inclined to match it now. Serrastrina holding Harlan Star though, and lucky number 13 for some, Serrastrina.
Final event at Randwick went to Lanyard. There was a protest in this event. Gavin Duffy, the rider of the runner-up Soda Springs, entered an objection claiming interference over the final 200 metres. You'll notice Lanyard does duck in, but certainly the honours of the race were with him, and stewards quickly dismissed the protest.
They come, and Celestial Zip right up on the inside is in front from Soda Springs Graduation, New Bisque Lanyard, Marmy's Girl the extreme outside, and Classy Tricks is struggling as they come to the 200. Now let's try and line these up. Lanyard comes into it with Soda Springs, and Celestial Zip over on the inside is like a straight 6 at Flemington. Lanyard now puts the nose in front. On the inside, Soda Springs fights back, and then Celestial Zip, but Lanyard's a little too good, and Lanyard comes away on the line and wins 3/4 of a length to Soda Springs.
Well, Sydney has been awash this week. They've managed to get their meetings through, but it's a bit of a strange quirk of fate that Melbourne's fine at the moment.
Yeah, well, we've copped that on the show all morning. They've been poking fun at us. Sunny, blue skies overhead. It's certainly not the case here. Well, I was finding out when I came to work. I understand it's rainy again now. We've been tucked away in the studio. We've got a couple of those horses that we saw on those highlights from Sydney heading Brisbane bound for the Winter Carnival.
Yes, and quite a few of the Melbourne trainers also looking towards the Brisbane Carnival. Change of habit. The last race winner at Sandown yesterday is coming this way. Third event, we'll pick up the action from Melbourne also, and it went to Melbourne's Own, who raced very erratically in the straight. You'll notice he shifts towards the outside, but he was just a shade too strong.
Now he has to hook to the outside. Now he goes back to the rail in the straight. Melbourne's Own in front, but Acid Test got up on the inside. A length further back, Tristram Court fighting on pretty well. Now changes course. Melbourne's Own drifting out. Acid Test the inside. Alunda Sand coming home well. It's Melbourne's Own still in front with 100 to go. Acid Test stride by stride, wearing it down. They'll fight it out. Melbourne's Own still a neck in front of Acid Test towards the line, and Melbourne's Own will get the money. Melbourne's Own has won it about a neck on the post, Acid Test.
There's a suggestion Melbourne's Own might be tried in blinkers next time, and I think the way he raced erratically in the straight there, that might just do the trick, but certainly he has some ability. Fourth event was the Durham Handicap. It went to Braquillo, who moves up 3 out, coming towards the home turn in those distinctive lime green colours. Goes the post strongly to defeat Aberidi.
But he's a fair way off them. 350 out on the straight. They race something stunning, about a half length in front of Lonely Dreamer and Braquillo. They're coming at him from both sides. They're clear of Aberidi. Then Captain Police. He's giving them a giant start at the moment, Captain Police. I don't think he can get up today. It's Braquillo grabbing the lead now from Lonely Dreamer. Something stunning, and Aberidi coming home well, but Braquillo in front, and Braquillo is going to break through today. Braquillo is going to get the money by a length. Aberidi.
Race 5 was the Country Cup. It went to the short-priced favourite Tristoplane, who is in the dark blinkers. He cruises up to the leaders at the turn, explodes away about the 300 metres, but he's getting a bit weary on the line. He had enough in reserve to hold off Stones of Venice.
Williams Booty went up to Monochrome when they turned. Tristoplane looks to be doing it pretty well for Highland, the favourite. He's gone up to make a line of 3. Rossi Boy went to the fence, and then Cosmos Girl, and further back Marcus Decree. He calls on Tristoplane now at the 200-metre mark. It's shot 2 lengths in front now of Stones of Venice. Apple turnover, then Marcus Decree, but Tristoplane has dashed away. Stones of Venice gets to second. Running on from Apple turnover. Tristoplane getting tired. He's a half in front. Stones of Venice trying to wear him down, but he'll hang on, and Tristoplane wins at a half-length. Stones of Venice.
Race 6 went to Coupe de Theatre, who you'll notice is desperately ridden over the final 200 metres by Chris Barrett, starting at 12 to 1, and had the bookies cheering here when Coupe de Theatre beat Royal Pageant.
2 lengths to Royal Pageant. Well back in the field, nearing the home turn, would have been Evening Rise, and last of all, Sousa Dull. In the straight, Take My Picture, a length and a half, Princess Calabrina, or a Fiola the fence, and further out now, Coupe de Theatre coming home well. They're followed by Poacher's Queen, Miss Munda, and then Anaret pulled to the outside. Coupe de Theatre got to Take My Picture with about 200 to go. They're both hard-ridden from Poacher's Queen, Princess Calabrina. Miss Munda down the outside with Anaret. Coupe de Theatre in front. Princess Calabrina coming after it quickly and getting a late run. Royal Pageant, it's Coupe de Theatre in front, and Coupe de Theatre gets the money.
Well, officially jockeys aren't allowed to bet, but I fancy that Chris Barrett might have had some of his own on Cooper Theatre, the way he used that whip in the final 200 metres. The 7th event, an 8-year-old Fox Seal. There's life in the old boy yet. He came from near last at the turn. Looked as though he's giving away an impossible start, but he rocketed home to just get there, defeating Friar's Delight.
Outside of him, Grenavia. Then Alfaraz Dak and about 2 or 3 to Purposefully when they turn for home. Mystic Monarch about 2 in front. Friar's Delight has travelled beautifully up on the outside to grab it. At the 300, Friar's Delight got to the front. Here's Grenavia out in the centre, starting to wind up, and he's finishing very quickly. Fox Seal from a long way back with Prince Garno. 150 to go now, and Friar's Delight took the lead. Fox Seal with a mighty run down the outside is starting to gobble up the ground. Friar's Delight in front. Fox Seal is wearing him down. Great effort by the top weight. Fox Seal's grabbed the lead, and Fox Seal gets up to win on the line.
Well, that was a good effort by Fox Seal. He carried 58.5 kilos, and we'll pick up the action in slow-mo form over the final 200 metres, and you'll notice those giant strides of the 8-year-old down the outside. Now, he's probably a couple of lengths off the leader, Friar's Delight, at this point, but it always looks as though he's going to get there. Very determined effort by Fox Seal. He's now reducing that margin pretty quickly, and right on the line, he puts the head out and gets there, and he was giving 6 kilos away to the runner-up, so that was a good performance by the old boy. Final event from Sandown yesterday. Went to Change of Habit. We saw him here last year. He was a very exciting 2-year-old. Been a shade disappointed with him, but this is a good performance under 59.5 kilos.
Leader to the 300-metre mark. He's got a good break. He's 3 lengths in front now. Wings and a Heels getting to second. 2 lengths further back, Dusk, and they're followed by Inquisitive and Top Turkey. He pulls the whip on the leader at the 200-metre mark. Change of Habit. He's over 2 in front. Wings and a Heels wearing him down with every stride. Moved up on the outside. Wings and a Heels put ahead in front of Change of Habit with about 50 to go. Change of Habit fights back on the inside. Again gets his nose in front, and he's won. Great effort the top weight. Change of Habits won it in a photo from Wings and a Heels.
Well, he's part of the Ted Cameron team who are going to head to Queensland for the Winter Carnival. That's our racing segment this morning. Don't forget... Well, that's what they were selling with this, the concept of this race, selling a dream, and I think it's fair to say that, you know, these are battling people, working-class people own the horse, and certainly the trainer and the jockey are not high names in racing circles, but they certainly did their job yesterday. I think the hero of the win was the young trainer, Ron Fisher. He's only 32, he's only been training a couple of years, and he's had a mountain of setbacks put in front of him in the last month. In fact, as late as last Monday, he wasn't even too sure General Warning could get to the post. But he did it, and did it in dashing style. We'll show you the Power Brewing Classic yesterday, and from the start you'll note the horse really tardy at the barrier is the winner, General Warning.
Set, racing now, and Mr. Glow came out fairly well. General Warning missed the start, missed it by 3 lengths, and Irrefutable was drifting back shortly afterwards. Out wide, Bermuda Flyer won the start, going to the front from Debra Grey. Jumping away well is Pfeiffer's Towel in 3rd place from Seacoin up in 4th. Then Alameen Warrior planted wide from Mr. Glow in 6th place, a length and a half to Bazooka Boy. They're followed then by Sarisha Ree and Pink Page. All-Star midfield on the fence from Jan Ease, 2.5 lengths to Victory Glow. Well back is same again, General Warning second last, and one off last is Irrefutable. Travelling towards the first turn, 800 metres out, and it's Bermuda Flyer in front by a length on Debra Grey. Pfeiffer's Towel in 3rd place, 1 length to Seacoin, who's 4th. Alameen Warrior out wide on the track from Mr. Glow, then Bazooka Boy and Pink Page. Malcolm Johnston coming to the outside with Irrefutable from All Star. Well back in the field is Janice, and they're followed by Sarisha Ree, General Warning, Victory Glow, and Same Glen is last as they head for home in the Power Brewing Classic, where on the outside Seacoin and Pfeiffer's Towel, they went to the front together. General Warning getting right up on the inside, Alameen Warrior, and Irrefutable joining in. It's General Warning up on the inside, 200 metres to go, grabbing the front. On the outside, Alameen Warrior trying hard. He missed the start badly, General Warning, but he's dashed right away, and it's General Warning spearing away for a brilliant win. General Warning by 4 lengths to Alameen Warrior. Irrefutable 3rd, 4th home Bazooka Boy.
One wonders what he might have done to them with a clean getaway. As General Warning scoring by 5 1/4 lengths, he's now to have a well-earned rest. And congratulations to everyone up at Caloundra associated with the running of the Power Brewing Classic. It was a magnificent first-up effort, and I'm sure they're going to go on to bigger and better things. Well, the Eagle Farm action yesterday, it was a marathon program there, 10 events. We pick up the action in the first leg of the treble. It went to Silver Sierra, who proved, this 3-year-old proved his last start win and at Eagle Farm was no fluke. Shows tremendous courage in the straight after looking in some trouble from the runner-up Nippy Star about the 100-metre mark.
Curfew in second place. On the outside is Silver Sierra. Nippy Star pulled out wide, and Kurabulka getting a run close to the inside. Moon Cutter under pressure now from Silver Sierra, then Kurabulka. Nippy Star and now Beaujolais on the outside. Silver Sierra, she's taken the lead. 250 metres out, Silver Sierra in front. Nippy Star after Silver Sierra, then Kurabulka and now Beaujolais. Nippy Star is out in the middle of the track, but he's hit the lead. Silver Sierra's fighting on. Nippy Star, Silver Sierra. Nippy Star, Silver Sierra. Silver Sierra's kicking again, and she's going to worry Nippy Star out of it. Silver Sierra has outstayed Nippy Star to win by a neck or so.
And there's more to come for Silver Sierra on that performance. Middle pin of the Eagle Farm treble went to Navajo Girl, who's a very classy 3-year-old filly. I doubted her a little bit at the 1,600 metres on the heavy track yesterday, in view of the fact she's had only one run back from a break. But starting at 16 to 1, she won like an even money favourite to defeat Some Charm by 3 lengths.
Cheers for us. Well in the straight, 350 metres to go. Cheval Jazz is the leader. He's starting to feel the pinch a little bit now. Some Charms after him on the outside. Navajo Girl running on strongly, and then on the rope, Cheval Jazz tackled quickly by Navajo Girl and Some Charm. They've both swept past him, 200 metres out. Navajo Girl, the little grey, she raced up on the outside. She went straight past Some Charm, and she's spearing away at the end. She's right back to form today. Navajo Girl is killing them in the run to the line and beats Some Charm by 4 lengths. Tight third, Ray Sailor on the ropes, then Mona Star.
Well, it was a day for good performances by 3-year-olds. Another top effort by Cool Report to take out the welter. His first start after a break, and looks like he's going to be one of Queensland's best hopes in the big winter sprints coming up. Cool Report scores well from Southport. Dancing Poet runs on well to get third.
Well in the straight now, 400 metres to go. Top the Ton and Mirabin there together. Top liner on the outside tackling them. Cool Report joining in, but fairly deep on the track, and then a High Signal, Southport, Hopeton Star, Dancing Poet. Cover Me and Gold or Me's coming right down the extreme outside. 200 metres out, Cool Report swept to the lead. Cool Report in front of Mirabin, Southport, then Gold or Me. Hopeton Star struggling over on the inside, but Cool Report broke away from them with 50 metres to go. And it's Cool Report going to the line to beat Southport. Dancing Poet, a great run for third. Then Hopeton Star.
Well, Connections generally believe that Cool Report is not at home in rain-affected going. The track yesterday certainly close to heavy, and Cool Report adapted well to those conditions, so I hope that he can really find a little bit extra on top of the ground. Here he is in front now, Cool Report. Michael Kerr giving him a couple of cracks with the whip. Southport running on well. Now, the horse with the baldy face, one off the fence, is Dancing Poet. Look at the ground he makes up in the last 100 metres, and this indicates he's going to be a real threat in the Rothmans in a fortnight, one of Queensland's best chances there. Cool Report going to the line, getting a little bit weary, but that is to be expected. Southport was just taking a little bit of ground off him over those final stages. There should be plenty of improvement in Cool Report, and as I said, he could be one of our real Winter Carnival sprint hopes. At Randwick yesterday, it was Champagne Stakes Day and a controversial finish to the Glamour 2-year-old event. Mick Dittman, I think, a shade unlucky on Comely Girl. We'll show you a little more of that later. The first leg of the treble from Randwick went to Drought, the Melbourne-trained 4-year-old. He's in blue colours, curling the mo right behind the leaders. A sweet ride by Greg Hall. He comes around their heels just after straightening and goes on to defeat Algonquin Club, who makes up nice ground.
Shuffle back a shade, straightening up now, and Mount Tambu headed by So Tip. Third is Drought getting into the open stretches, followed by Lavero and then Algonquin Club at the 200. Drought on the outside now gains the lead. He's kicked away, Drought. He's about a length in front. Algonquin Club goes into second place, and then So Tip. But this is the real Drought today, and Gregory Hall keeping him going. He holds Algonquin Club and So Tip, and Drought is untroubled.
Well, both the winner and runner-up are Brisbane bound. I suggest you follow Algonquin Club over a little bit longer journey. He's certainly, I think, going to be a middle-distance star up here during the big meetings. Prime Minister's Cup could be an ideal race for him. Sixth event from Randwick was the Champagne Stakes, and it went to Full and By, another success for the Cummings-Marshall combination. Paris Weekend second, and the unlucky Comely Girl a close third.
On the extreme outside, Carpahula, Temple Front on the inner. Around the corner, Rising Strike leads the way. Inclined to Lugger Shade, second Paris Weekend. Not quite room for Comely Girl. Then Nanutara, Full and By, and the favourite valiantly trying to clear the pocket. Now there's almost a run for her. And at the 200, Paris Weekend in front from Nanutara. Here's Full and By. Comely Girl behind those. On the inside, Paris Weekend and Full and By. Paris Weekend, Full and By. They're going to the line together. Full and By. full and by another biggie for Bart Cummings and John Marshall.
Well, let's show you now the slow-mo of this very titanic struggle between three top riders over the final stages. You'll notice on the outside it's full and by, and when Marshall goes for the whip on this youngster, he ducks in. Nanyutara's on his immediate inside, and Comely Girl with very little room there. Paris Weekend, the leader, on the fence. Now, you notice full and by ducks in, Marshall pulls him off, and starts to go again for the whip here. He draws the whip, and you'll notice Nanyutara gets badly checked there. He certainly wasn't going to be in the finish, but would have finished a lot closer. Peter Cook had to reef him off the heels of Full and By. And there's Comely Girl just driving between Paris Weekend and Full and By. Comely Girl beaten into third place, but less than a neck from the winner. And I don't think there's much doubt with a clear run from the home turn, the Tommy Smith trained filly would have picked up the first prize there. The final leg of the Randwick treble, another one Brisbane bound. Potrero, he's come back very well after a spell. He's in goldish colours just behind the leaders, and he goes on to score handsomely.
And proud around the corner. The speedy Vain Royale leads narrowly from Solder Ray. Three deep Massacre Khan. And then follows Count Henri, followed by Potrero. And Boasting not doing enough. Down to the 200. And Massacre Khan headed by Potrero. And Potrero kicked about a length now. Massacre Khan on the outside is Count Henri. But it's Potrero at the 100 metres holding his rivals. Whiskey George running greenly and flying down the outside. All too late. McGeading will get third. But Potrero untroubled and untouched in the run of the...
A very underrated horse, Potrero, and I think on the way he's shaping this campaign, he could pay his way when he does come north for the Winter Carnival. Moonee Valley was the venue for Melbourne racing yesterday, and what a remarkable comeback by Kevin Mitchell, 59-year-old jockey. First ride since October, and he was badly smashed up, and he was successful on Gallipoli Prince. We'll get down to that shortly. First leg of the Melbourne TAB treble went to Sister Shirley, ridden by Michael Clark. Sister Shirley looked in all sorts of trouble at the home turn on the inside there, but Clark, with vigorous whip riding, was able to get a home from Thelma Josephine, who looked a winning threat 200 metres out.
Trying to get a run, but he's been ridden along, and then further back Thelma Josephine. It's Sister Shirley again coming back on the inside, a neck in front. Council moved up on the outside, terrific behind them. Full at last trying to get out, and then Thelma Josephine from Cindy's Appeal. Council got to Sister Shirley on the turn from Thelma Josephine. It's Council the centre, Thelma Josephine on the outside, Sister Shirley fighting back. Sister Shirley again, a neck in front. Thelma Josephine coming at Sister Shirley. Clark throwing everything at Sister Shirley, and she got there. Sister Shirley, a neck on the post, Thelma Josephine.
Well, here's Melbourne's answer to Mel Shoemaker, who recently made a successful comeback here in Brisbane. Kevin Mitchell, and he scores all the way on Gallipoli Prince, incidentally landing some big bets. I think they'd set Kevin for a first-up success here. And, just after they straightened, Gallipoli Prince shot away. On the line, Taj Quillo was coming back at him, but really the winner was always in control.
Little Eskimo high board, and the others are hopeless. Nearing the turn, Gallipoli Prince about three-quarters, Taj Quillo. 5 lengths further back, Daring John when they turn. They're followed by Hello Melbourne, and then bit of a chance straightening up. Gallipoli Prince three-quarters in front of Taj Quillo. They're well clear of Daring John. Kevin Mitchell back in the saddle today, and he's got Gallipoli Prince a winner. I'd say 100 to go. Taj Quillo trying hard from Daring John, but it's Gallipoli Prince first up. K. Mitchell, well done by three-quarters. Taj Quillo...
Yes, it was well done. 59 years of age and making a comeback after a 6 months absence through injury. That's a fine performance. Last leg of the Moonee Valley treble went to All Spades. He's been racing consistently. He's moving up in the red, white and blue colours, 3 out as they come towards the home turn. He scores well from Scarvilla.
Then Agent Provocative. Scarvilla got back to the tail of the field with Winter. At the 450 now, the leader, Jewel Planet, and Seeger on the inside. Coming at them, All Spades gets out, running home quickly. Then further back, Educate, followed by on the outside, Aldenate from a long way back. All Spades went up to Seeger when they turned. All Spades a neck in front of Seeger. They kick away from Jewel Planet. Then Scarvilla, Gouchy getting up along the inside, but All Spades in front with 200 to go. Got clear from Seeger. Scarvilla getting home late, but All Spades is going to break through today, and All Spades will get the money a length and a half to Scarvilla. Third Seeger, fourth Alternate, and then Educate.
We want to go back and show you one of the highlights of the marathon program from Eagle Farm yesterday was the success of Planet Ruler in the third event. Now, this very exciting 3-year-old has come through the ranks and regarded as one of the most promising young horses in Queensland. And we'll show you why he's regarded so highly as he turns for home. I don't think he was suited on the heavy conditions. Brian York had to show him the whip once they get into the straight, but he draws away to score very well.
Just behind them, and then Arkabar on the inside, 300 metres out. Planet Ruler still the leader. He's getting a little anxious on him now. He's starting to ride him along. In fact, he's gone for the whip on him. He's almost a length in front of Dan Jarrah, City Prince and Mr. Shaw on the outside. He's riding him pretty hard, and Planet Ruler, he's responding to the whip riding by York. Planet Ruler's clear, close to the line. Well, they wanted to take risks with him, and they're going to pay dearly because Planet Ruler is careering away in the run to the post to win by 4 lengths. City Prince second, I think.
I think he's going to be a worthy representative for Queensland in the Queensland Guineas. And Brian York and Bruce McLaughlin in commanding form yesterday at Eagle Farm, picking up a winning treble to take their lead or stretch their lead in the respective trainers and jockeys premierships. Well, we mentioned earlier it was a day for the 3-year-olds in Brisbane and Sydney yesterday, but the cream of the crop is undoubtedly the Bart Cummings-trained Beau Zam, who took his prize money beyond the $2 million mark when he scored with ridiculous ease in the St Leger.
Side on Beau Zam, and he gradually eases the colt. Around hit again Benny and Zamakima, with Zamakima leading narrowly, but around the turn they come now, and Beau Zam quickly coasted up. He had another look, Marshall, and another, and Beau Zam 2.5 lengths. Palace Revel going to second, then Zamakima followed by Sicilian Star, but the champion colt Beau Zam will win this by a minute. Daylight second, Palace Revolt is a clear second, then Sicilian Star, but by golly, this is the easiest $68,000 connections of a racehorse will ever pick up. Beau Zam wins the St Leger about 9 lengths to Palace Revolt.
Well, it was a cakewalk, and $68,000. It was a little easier than General Warning. He picked up $250,000. Beau Zam, incidentally, may now go to Canberra to run in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes in the presence of the Queen next month. And there's talk about Bone Crusher coming from New Zealand. I think I've got news for them. They better not come, Pete. Beau Zam be too good.
What about the Wheatwood? That's next week, is it?
Yes, it's been postponed. Hopefully be on this Thursday, and it's going to be a good field.
OK, we'll take a break in the sports world.
He'll carry an extra Rothmans next Saturday, taking his weight to 54. He incurred that penalty for winning the Weight for Age Terrace Regency, $100,000 race at Otaki in New Zealand last Wednesday. But he's has been confirmed a certain Rothmans runner, and he'll be flying over early tomorrow morning. Well, the Kiwis had it their own way at Doomben as well. My Arctic Wolf taking out the Courier Mail Cup, and he's shortened now in the Rothmans betting. A lovely ride by Larry Olsen. We'll get to that action shortly. First leg of the Doomben treble went to Brian York, who really goes well with Bacata. He's won on this horse his last 2 starts. In between those 2 wins, there was a little bit of a disappointing effort at Eagle Farm, but yesterday Bacata really relished these soft conditions. He's on the outside of the favourite Newington Butts.
Then Open Air and Shinui. Bacata's poked his nose in front of the favourite. It's Bacata a neck in front of Newington Butts, and he looks to be going a lot better than him. Bon Antonio running third, and Eldonell is making ground on the extreme outside. He's gone for the whip now on Bacata. Bacata a length and a half in front of Newington Butts. Eldonell steadily making ground on the outside, then Open Air. Bacata in front, holding them by the looks of it. He's stopping at the end, but he's got a big enough break, and Bacata has been able to score. Bacata first, a Photo second and third. It's between Eldonell and Open Air.
Well, the Courier Mail Cup over 1,200 metres was regarded as one of the top lead-ups to the Rothmans. It's exactly how it turned out, with the class runners fighting out a tremendous final 200 metres. My Arctic Wolf just holding off Isoma on his inside and Rancho Ruler on his outside. Now it's My Arctic Wolf going a little bit deep on the corner as Olsen seeks for better ground.
Isoma going for the inside, Rancho Ruler to the outside, then Tumble On, Royal Reel, and Imprimatur to the extreme outside, 250 metres to go. Rancho Ruler coming after My Arctic Wolf. Olsen gets anxious, he goes for the whip on My Arctic Wolf. Isoma on the inside, driving at the pair of them. My Arctic Wolf just in front of Isoma and Rancho Ruler. This is going to be a ding-donger, they hit it. My Arctic Wolf by a nose. My Arctic Wolf has just beaten Isoma with Rancho Ruler third.
Well, it's a race caller's nightmare, a finish like that, but it's a handicapper's dream. A head and a half head the margin. We show you the slow-mo now of the final stages, and you'll notice Olsen just keeping a little bit up his sleeve for those final few strides, was able to get My Arctic Wolf home. On the outside, Rancho Ruler battles on strongly, and Isoma on the inside. Now, it's My Arctic Wolf clear. Rancho Ruler was decidedly unlucky. He was interfered with badly at the 800-metre turn, and he's fighting on magnificently on the outside. 3 great jockeys there. Willits on Rancho Ruler, Olsen on My Arctic Wolf, and Greg Hall over on the inside on Isoma. But it's My Arctic Wolf just finding enough to hold off Isoma on his inside. Those 2 horses carried plenty of weight. Their efforts were good. And as I said, Rancho Ruler, I think, was entitled to be rated the unlucky runner. He was badly buffeted at the 800-metre turn and sent wide. And it was certainly the difference. I think a head and a half head the margin. He lost more than that ground there. 7th event was the 2-year-old race, and it went to Beat the Traffic. He began smartly yesterday. He's leading here with Oh So Serious, and he burns the filly off from this point.
Next on the outside, Beat the Traffic, beat off Oh So Serious with 300 metres to go. Kicked about 3 lengths in front of Oh So Serious, and he's all over a winner, Beat the Traffic. He's ploughing his way through the heavy ground with the big weight, and Beat the Traffic is now 6 lengths in front of Oh So Serious, followed by Our Precious Bay and then Orange and Green. but this is a cakewalk for the toppy, and Beat the Traffic wins it by 8 lengths. Second, Oh So Serious. Third, Our Precious Bay. Datum.
Smart performance by Beat the Traffic, and I think he's going to pick up more races during the big winter meetings. Well, then Sydney, it was Rose Hill yesterday, again a rain-affected track. But didn't worry top trainer Brian Mayfield-Smith. He produced 4 winners on the 8-event card, and he's raced right away with the training premiership again down there. The first leg of the Rose Hill treble went to Mayfield-Smith, and the short price favourite Winner's Intent, who's poised right up behind the, in fact in front now, Winner's Intent.
Secret pushed along, and then comes Car Eaton bottom line, and further back is Sailor V. On the turn they come in the Dragnet handicap, and Winner's Intent 3/4 of a length on I Wish. A length away, third is Car Eaton, followed by Infinite Secret at the 250, and Peter's riding quietly on Winner's Intent. It's nearly a length on I Wish. The boy working overtime on it at a length to Car Eaton. Now he draws the Persuader on Winner's Intent, who responds, and Winner's Intent a half length on I Wish. Winner's Intent is still in front. He safely holds I Wish and Car Eaton, and Winner's Intent nearly all the way.
Fifth event was the Money Mania handicap, and those who supported Mary Ruler collected the money here. Mary Ruler in green and red colours, you'll notice just behind the leaders as they turn for home, has to sweat on a run for 50 metres or so. Once he gets into the clear at the 200 metres, he then spurts away and scores a commanding victory.
McQueen, third Mary Ruler on the inside of True Reason, and wider out is LA Streak, turning for home now, and Investor shows the way, a length and 3/4 on Potter McQueen, urged along, followed by Mary Ruler, and a length further back Nova Edition. 250 to go. Marshall pulls the whip now on Investor. Mary Ruler trying to clear the pocket. He's out now. And inside the 200, Mary Ruler gives chase to Investor. A length Nova Edition, but Mary Ruler raced alongside Investor, put the nose in front, and Mary Ruler is starting to come away from Investor, and Mary Ruler has beaten Investor. Third in was Nova Edition, and then...
Well, Brian Mayfield-Smith wasn't just producing winners at Rose Hill. He produced the Quinella in the 7th event down there, and it was Gavin Duffy scoring on Cool Action, the grey, and you'll notice Duffy really vigorous with the whip inside the 200 metres, and the grey responds very well.
Comes on the outside, making a little bit of ground again. Galactic Warrior Regiment ran into trouble. Noon Delight now losing leeway from Oxbridge. Likewise, El Toreador and Snow Pago. On the corner, Garrison leads the way, narrowly punching up inside a Grecian Ford. Cool Action 3 out. The Well-Tried cruising behind them, looking for the run, and then comes Lily Antoinette and a length Prince Havilah, and Regiment back 4th last at the 200, and Cool Action in front now, about a half length on Grecian Ford cruising, pulling around them, but Cool Action kicked away at the 100 metres, and Cool Action in front cruising, won't pick up his stablemate. Grecian Ford kicking on, but Cool Action will score. 4 winners to Mayfield-Smith. Cool Action.
Well, the fine weather continues in Melbourne, and it was a good track at Caulfield yesterday, and the Gouch is back. Darren Gouchy scoring a dashing victory on Toyd in the first leg of the treble down there. Toyd, an 8-year-old, but there was plenty of money for him yesterday. He firmed in from 14s to 8s. And the Gouch pinched it here. He dashed away before the turn, and Toyd went right on with the job.
Toyd has got a big break. On the turn they race, and Toyd is 4 lengths in front around the turn now. From Starlet Princess Hallstrong. Oh, the Gouch has caught them all napping on this Toyd. At the 200-metre mark, he's 5 in front. He's pulled the whip into second placing Friar's Delight, Starlet Princess and Hallstrong. But Toyd is going to walk in. A lightning move by the Gouch, and that's what's won the race for him at the 800-metre mark. Toyd is going to canter home. Toyd by 6 lengths. Second, Friar's Delight, a half away. Third, Starlet Princess.
Fifth event from Caulfield was the MCC Plate, and Cindy Legend, who was 4th on the fence as they came to the turn, going to split just one off the fence and dashed right away. He was getting a bit weary at the finish, and Mighty Deer took a lot of ground off him in the last 100 metres, but failed by a long neck to pick up Cindy Legend.
The centre and Linton Star on the outside when they turn. Cindy Legend waiting for a run into the straight. They race, and on the outside here, Linton Star and Hello Melbourne have gone to the front now, getting a run through with Cindy Legend. King's Onyx struggling, and further back then getting out late is Mighty Deer. Cindy Legend on the inside, got to the front now from Mighty Deer down the outside, but Cindy Legend kicked away. Mighty Deer running on well from Linton Star, and then Sample from a long way back. Cindy Legend falling in a hole, but it'll get there. Cindy Legend a neck on the line to Mighty Deer.
Final leg of the Caulfield treble went to a very successful and long-standing combination, trainer Jim Maloney and Pat Hyland, who took this out with Casanora. Highland is an evergreen rider. He keeps producing them. You'll notice Casanora move up about 4 or 5 wide just as they straighten.
Then Ionic back second to third last with Anaret, and last of all Wishful Hope. Alani Bay's gone up to tackle the leader, Ranchita on the home turn. Kuta Theatre going all right but can't get a run. Casanora further out in the track. Ranchita the leader coming down with about 200 to go from Casanora wider out. Then Alani Bay, Venardu and Kuta Theatre running out of room, but Casanora moved up on the outside to get its head in front of Ranchita. Venardu is battling on in the centre. Venadu's got its head in front of Casanora. Casanora, Venardu. Venardu just in front. Casanora diving at it again. Might have got up Casanora. Bob of the head, Casanora, Venardu.
Well, it was a 13-2 pop Casanora, but the bookies were left to consider what might have been the runner-up there, Venardu, starting at 200-1, and just a bob of the head in it in that final stride. Well, they finally ran the Foster's Wheatwood handicap up at Toowoomba yesterday. 2 postponements because of the weather, but Rendu successful up there, and he confirmed a start in the Rothmans next Saturday. Great to see him back in form. We picked him up from the start. The favourite, Prince Anton, beaten but not disgraced. He was the leader turning for home, but Rendu got past him pretty quickly.
The lead on it. Over to the inside, King's Currency going forward with Baybo. They're followed then by Rendu, who's going up high on the track. They're followed just back in behind those by On the Boil. Further back in the field, Maya G and Princess near the rail. Royal Samurai's back past midfield at the moment. They're followed then Hopeton Stars moved up into a forward spot. Rendu out a little bit wide. They're followed further back in the field by Handsome Pal. Then So Presumptive. Ima Romans well back. Then came Nippy Star. Paris Bowes third last. Mendham Lad next to last as they race up inside the final 800 metres of the event and dropping right out of it and going backwards into the field. They race past the 800 and the leader on the inside was Prince Anton just in front of Thanking You, who goes up quickly to second. Rendu's travelling well behind them. It's running third, a couple of lengths further back to Baybo. They're followed further back on the inside next by King's Currency. Then came So Presumptive. Southport further out. Mendham Lads making a run very wide. Then Royal Samurai, who's a mile back. And Maya G and Princess is tailed off at the rear. Prince Anton in front on the corner, but tackled by Rendu. Rendu raced up on the outside. It got past Prince Anton. Under the whip, Baybo. Mendham Lads running on fairly well behind those. But Rendu had dashed well clear halfway down the straight. Rendu's nicely clear of the Wheatwood.
Oh, tricky. Yes, well, Rendu did go on to take out the Wheatwood handicap. I don't know whether this is a plot to see if I fall asleep during the show or not, but we just lost the last stages of the Wheatwood handicap. Rendu was successful and did it pretty well, and he's in the Rothmans next week with an outside chance. He's going to meet a lot better opposition there. Final event from Doomben we want to show you now, and it went to the favourite Sound Horizon. He certainly was suited by the dawdling pace, the Sunday Mail quality lead up to the big event at Doomben next Monday. And Sound Horizon, as I said, suited. He pulled a little hard, but here he is sweeping up out deep on the track in those blue colours. The widest runner there is, just inside him rather, is Finezza Bell. The widest runner was Drought.
Hot on Aces is kicked as they straighten up. Hot on Aces a length in front. Sound Horizon, he's hitting top gear. He's coming home brilliantly on the outside. He looks as though he's got them. Sound Horizon raced up to them, went past Hot on Aces and now Waverley Star. Sound Horizon hands and heels at the end by Tiley, and he's too strong. It's Sound Horizon first, our Waverley Star second, Hot on Aces third, then Drought.
And we must remember too the Toowoomba Cup run tomorrow, and Sound Horizon's stablemate Ostensible is set to run up there, and despite his big weight he does look a class above his rivals. Now we've got a horse to follow. This came up in race 2, won by Francisco Kid and won impressively, but I want to highlight the run of Flash Jewel. Now she's moving towards the outside. Neil Williams just extricating her around a couple of runners. She's in about 5th place at this stage in striped sleeves. She runs on strongly. I think this is a good performance by Flash Jewel first up.
Gone. Superb Effort will run last. Coming down the outside, Flash Jewel with a big run. Francisco Kid in front of Perseus, then Flash Jewel and Count Comoran. But this is too good, the favourite, and it goes to the line and scores easily. Francisco Kid first, Perseus second, third.
As I said, that was her first run after a break, Flash Jewel. I think there's improvement there. She's definitely one to follow. Very smart filly at the best. Now, there will be a track inspection this afternoon at Eagle Farm. They had 20 millimetres overnight, so it could be a little bit touch and go whether they do race. Royals bookies were lamenting after his success. You can't take anything away from the winner, Campaign King, 58 kilos. I didn't think he could do it, and great performance by John Marshall and Bart Cummings, particularly Marshall. That's 3 Rothmans in a row, and the way he's shaping, he's becoming the glamour jockey in Australia, really.
Great field, though, wasn't it, too? I mean, it was a gamble, moving the Rothmans 100,000 this early in the carnival. Yeah. And, I mean, it really was one of the best fields we've seen in a 100,000 for a long, long time.
I think the best sprint field we've seen ever in Brisbane. So, for the top weight to win, that's a great performance. Anyway, we'll get down to the action from Doomben yesterday. Race 1 went to Prince Toranaga, upsetting the favourite Drought. I thought it was a shade disappointing leading up to the Channel 9 Cup tomorrow. Drought's still going to run, But he had his chance to run down Prince Toranaga in the straight. As they turned for home, he was right on the winner's heels, and he couldn't take any ground away from Prince Toranaga. Drought in the blue colours coming to the outside.
Then on the ropes in proper job, straightening up, Dare to Be Grand in front of Dundee's Rocking. Prince Toranaga to the outside, and Hall getting anxious on the favourite. He's gone for the whip on him. He's starting to pick them up now. Drought, 200 metres left to go. Prince Toranaga's the leader. Drought having a bit of a job, trying to get to him on the outside. Then Dare to Be Grand. Prince Toranaga holding Drought at the moment. Prince Toranaga in front. He leads a half length on Drought. Drought can't catch him. Prince Toranaga beat Drought.
Second event went to Our Beaujolais, who's been racing most consistently. Bookies were inclined to take risks with him yesterday. They paid dearly. I thought the effort of Cool Card was very good. He was forced wide throughout, and he still worked to the line very strongly. And I think this well-bred three-year-old's soon going to break through.
Up a neck on Our Beaujolais, and Our Beaujolais popped the big question, moved up to join Stealthy Knight. They're clear of Cool Card. And where's the favourite, Neppy Star? He's struggling. He's back running fifth. Our Beaujolais just in front of Stealthy Knight, who's fighting on. Cool Card might be a bit of a danger, and Glenn's Choice might be a bit of a danger. Here's a go. Four of them across the track. Earhart's riding hard on Our Beaujolais. He's just in front. Glenn's Choice and Cool Card coming at him hard. The last little bit, they hit it. Oh, gee, it's close. Three of them hit the line locked together.
Going to show you the big one now, the Rothmans 100,000. It's Campaign King, beautifully ridden by Marshall. He settled midfield, and it was only the last 50 metres or so he was able to peg back a very courageous Rancho Ruler, the Victorian, and Queenslander Rendu made up plenty of ground to finish third. And this is the Rothmans.
Snippets began like a shot out of a gun, and Credit again is going fast. Rancho Ruler showing plenty of speed. Look at Cook go on Snippets. He's coming across the face of the field. He's going to lead them. After they go 150 metres, it's Snippets on the rails in front, leading Rancho Ruler by a length. In third place is Mirabin, and then Catering King and Special together. Prince Anton is next on the outside of Tumble On. Moving up a bit wide is Campaign King. Credit again is out fairly deep. Over on the inside is Myotic Wolf. Now Eye of the Sky getting back. Our Poetic Prince is deep. I Soma well back with Gold or Me. Then Dancing Poet, Rendu, Royal Real, Dazzling Duke, and Lig on Arms is last of all, about third last Franklin Drive. Snippets is going pretty easily, coming down the side, 600 metres to go. Rancho Ruler moving up a little bit closer, only a half length off him. 2 lengths away, third Catering King, and then Mirabin under the whip. Special Tumble On, Prince Anton to the outside. Campaign King running on gamely. To the extreme outside, Our Poetic Prince, and then Gold or Me, Myotic Wolf, Eye of the Sky, Royal Real, Franklin Drive, and Lig on Arms. In the straight, 300 metres to go. Snippets the leader, tackled now by Rancho Ruler. Rancho Ruler coming after Snippets. Rancho Ruler grabbed the lead from Snippets. Campaign King coming out after Rancho Ruler. Rancho Ruler a length in front of Campaign King and Snippets. Rancho Ruler in front. Campaign King is running him down. Rancho Ruler and Campaign King. It's going to be tight. They hit it. Campaign King got up and beat Rancho Ruler. I think Campaign King just got there.
Well, great performance by Campaign King. We're going to show you now the steward's footage and the head-on along the back, and you'll notice the explosive speed of Snippets, the favourite. He's one from the outside, and he just absolutely hits the ground running and flies across the face of the field to be in front. After they go 200 metres, he's actually on the fence. Here he goes across the field. He's the horse with the blue colours and the red cap, and bang, he's over there. And Rancho Ruler is actually inside him. Gauchi lets Snippets go and then comes to the outside of the favourite. As they go along the back straight, it's Snippets in front of Rancho Ruler. Now, Campaign King at this stage, he's a baldy-faced horse, yellow sleeves on the colours and a blue cap. Midfield, about 3 from the fence. On his inside is Prince Anton in gold colours. At this stage, Lig on Arms is the horse in the blue colours with the gold cap last. Now, as they swing round this first turn at Snippets, who was fired up and racing a little keenly, and not surprisingly, he wilted in the straight. Rancho Ruler is camped on his outside and going very smoothly. Mirabin's a horse in the purple colours, starting to weaken out of it already at this stage. Catering King running third, and we'll pick up Campaign King now. On the outside, you can see him start to improve quickly here. He's a baldy-faced horse. He's going up into 4th place there, 3 out from the rails. It's Rancho Ruler and Snippets as they straighten up, and Rancho Ruler quickly goes to the lead and looks to have an unassailable break. We'll switch now to the head-on here, and you can see Rancho Ruler, one off the fence, and possibly the going was a shade better there than hard up against the rails, and he's kicked right away. Now, Campaign King Marshall goes for the whip, and he admitted at this stage he was starting to have a few doubts whether he would be able to pick up the Victorian. It's Rancho Ruler giving plenty for Darren Gauchi, but here comes Campaign King. Great courage, and Rendu's the horse immediately behind him. Prince Anton in the yellow colours running on solidly to finish just behind the place getters. But the honours of the race clearly with Campaign King under that 58 kilos. Race 6 was a little bit of an anti-climax, but there was a sensation here too because there was a protest. Archland, ridden by Brian York, was second past the post. He gained the verdict, the steward's nod, for interference over the final stages. And we'll show you the slow-mo now as Jamie Bayliss on Endinel is in front, the purple colours, and here's Archland on the outside with Brian York. And it appeared at this stage as though Archland was going to go past Endinel, who ducks out and bumps the horse with the blinkers on Archland, and was able to maintain his narrow advantage right to the line. But you can see that he's shearing off the track and certainly inconveniencing Archland, bumping him out of stride. Stewart severely reprimanded Bayliss for failing to stop riding and straighten his mount there. Archland getting the verdict. 7th event and another protest here. Northern News first past the post. He had to withstand an objection from Peter Cudahy, who rode the runner-up Big Peeler. Both efforts were very good. They drew widely and covered a bit of ground. Big Peeler in particular had to do a lot of work to get up near the lead, and we'll show you the event, and then we'll come back and show you the slow-mo as well. This is Northern News making amends for his unlucky last start, 4th in the Golden Nugget.
Cracking him on the inside, very particular. He's coming at the pair of them on the extreme outside with Northern News and Aces and Kings running on strongly. Here's a go. Big Peeler, he fought on. He's just in front. Northern News is driving at him in the concluding stages. Northern News going a bit better than Big Peeler. Big Peeler's kicking again. Northern News just in front of Big Peeler as they hit the wire, and Northern News has beaten Big Peeler. 3rd in.
Wayne Harris successful there on on Northern News, and we'll show you the slow-mo now of the final stages. I think it was a fairly ambitious protest fired in by Cudahy. Big Peeler just inclined to drift out a little bit. They certainly get very close. Both horses partly to blame. Northern News just having enough to edge past the heavily backed Big Peeler, and possibly Northern News had enough on the line there too. I thought the effort of the 3rd place getter Aces and Kings was very good, and I think he's one to follow. Malcolm Johnston was lavish in his praise of this youngster. I think there's improvement in him, and he did cover a lot of ground. Well, that was the action from Doomben yesterday. Of course, we go back to Doomben again tomorrow for the Channel 9 Cup. Have you got any money left, Pat? You?
No.
Well, we'll get credit for you. I'll fix something up.
I'm going to the golf course.
I think you'd be better off betting on the Cup the way you've been playing golf. But I think King of Brooklyn has a very good chance in the Cup tomorrow. He's widely travelled. He arrived here last weekend. He did run 3rd at Eagle Farm on Monday, over 1,600 metres. I thought his performance was good. The winner, Cheval Jazz, is a very slick horse at that distance, and particularly on a rain-affected track. King of Brooklyn likes the sting out of the going. He's going to get that tomorrow. If we have no further rain, I think the track will still be dead. It's going to suit him admirably. The favourite is Sound Horizon. His form is first class coming into this race. However, I just have a slight doubt on him at a fast run 2,200 metres race. If it's a true staying test, I think he could be just found wanting. So we'll go for King of Brooklyn on each way basis, and I feel Algonquin Club has a very good chance as well. His recent Sydney form has been good, and I think he's the right type for the Cup distance of 2,200 metres. And it's a very good 2-year-old race there tomorrow as well. It's we've got Full and By and also Wonder Dancer, who raced very well during the Sydney Carnival. They're going to clash in race 7, so that'll be another highlight of what's going to be a great meeting tomorrow. We've got the action from Melbourne now, and the first leg of the treble down there was race 5. It went to Argonaut Style, the Kiwi stayer who's warming up for the Adelaide Cup. Very strong staying performance. You'll see him zoom up around the outside, about 6 and 7 wide coming to the turn, and goes right on with the job.
Right around the outside. Fayette County trying to get out with Codicil. Spasm took the lead on the home turn now from wide out Argonaut Style. Fayette County getting a run from in to win. Codicil trying to get clear. Argonaut Style wide out, swept up now to grab the lead with 150 to go, and he raced clear the top weight from Spasm. Fayette County fighting on, and Codicil running home well. But a great run by the top weight. He's drawing away Argonaut Style to win nearly a length.
I think at his top, Argonaut Style is going to be the horse to beat in the Adelaide Cup. Race 6 was the middle pin of the treble down there. It went to Gallipoli Prince, a stablemate of Isoma, beaten out of a place when heavily backed in the Rothmans. The stable had a quick return, though, with Gallipoli Prince at 5 to 4 on, and he won handsomely, getting a little bit weary towards the line.
Just dropping out from Serendipity, 2 further back Scott's Lane, then further back in the field Big Zapple, Silver Edge, last on the turn is Bicentenary. Gallipoli Prince raced away, 3 in front turning, from Quiet Sensation, Roman Artist, Cara's Magic, then further back Serendipity, but down to the 150 metre mark. Oh, he's doing this pretty easily, this fellow in front, Gallipoli. He's out 2 lengths in front, getting a little weary. Mitchell shakes him up, Quiet Sensation running on, but an easy win.
10 days ago, the Perth stayer Stylish Lord left home, supposedly travelling to Brisbane. He got to the tarmac in Melbourne. They said jump off because there's an airline dispute, and he was stuck there, unfortunately, missing a start during the Winter Carnival up here. But Connections decided to press ahead with a run down there, and he rewarded them with victory in race 8 at Moonee Valley yesterday. And I think he did the job pretty well too. Gary Willits had to put him under plenty of pressure at the finish, but he was just a shade too strong for Winter.
Then Scarvilla from Bellardo Boy in a gap to Royal Saga. But Stylish Lord went for home, straightening up 150 out. He got over a length to Winter and about 4 lengths Scarvilla and Red Opaque. Stylish Lord in front with 80 metres to go. Winter fighting on. He's pushing it right out Willits to the line, Stylish Lord, and he wins a neck. Second home is Winter, 2 lengths away. Third, Scarvilla.
Well, certainly no one could begrudge the connections of Stylish Lord, their victory yesterday after having so much ill luck on their way to Brisbane. It's our racing segment this morning. A great Rothmans meeting yesterday, Pat, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow too.
Certainly was. In an interview after the race with Bart Cummins, he said he'd be reluctant now to start campaign kicking in handicap races again. Does that mean he's out of the Elders?
No, I've spoken to Bart this morning. He's having second thoughts. There is the Tourist Ministers' Cup, which is a quality event, 58 kilos, as an ideal lead-up, and I think he's just going to leave it up to the handicapper. He expects a half-kilo penalty. I think he might get a little more. But Mark Southall from the QTC will work that out in a couple of weeks.
So that'll take him up to 58.5, and if he gets that, do you think we may see him in the Elders?
I think Bart would crawl over broken bottles to get there if he got 58.5. But I think 59 or 59.5 even, he'd still run.
OK, what about the quality of the field for the upcoming races now?
Oh, excellent.
Is it going to be like yesterday's races?
Yeah, the Guineas next Saturday, Queensland Guineas. We've got some outstanding 3-year-olds going to run there. Our Poetic Prince, who I thought did a good job yesterday in the Rothmans, he's likely to run. Planet Ruler, a very exciting Queensland 3-year-old, will be there. So the depth is going to be good, and all the big QTC Winter Carnival races, they've got excellent ones.
The powerful and speedy gate fast and led from start to finish with jockey Gary Stevens aboard. But despite her brilliant start today, she would be challenged before this race was over, because down the stretch, it was the 2-year-old champion 49er who staged a furious charge and came oh so close to catching Winning Colors. But the filly hung on to edge out 49er at the wire, Winning Colors becoming only the 3rd filly ever win the Derby. The others Regret in 1915 and Genuine Risk in 1980. 49er came in second today, and Risen Star, a Secretariat colt, finished third. Winning Colors is owned by Gene Klein, the former owner of the NFL San Diego Chargers, and she is trained by one of the legends, D. Wayne Lucas.
Well, D. Wayne Lucas has had 13 starters in the Kentucky Derby before finally cracking it with Winning Colors. Last Monday at Doomben, we had the Channel 9 Cup. It went to the Wyong-trained Lord Highbrow, who's now one of the favourites for the Brisbane Cup on June 13. He'll be stepping up from 2,200 to 3,200, but the way he did this suggests he won't be troubled at all.
But Lord Highbrow, he raced away from them, 200 metres to go. He looks as though he's got a winning break. He's 3 lengths in front, Lord Highbrow. Algonquin Club is coming from the clouds on the outside, but Lord Highbrow is clear, close to the wire, and Lord Highbrow scores easily. Algonquin Club second, Sound Horizon flashed home for third.
Well, a conclusive performance by Lord Highbrow, but I thought the performance of Algonquin Club to come from last and finish second, a couple of lengths behind Lord Highbrow, was very good, and he's going to be hard to beat in the Prime Minister's Cup. Eagle Farm yesterday, the first event went to Pine Lodge Girl from the Paul Sutherland stable. She was a little bit easy in the betting, but raced up prominently and went on with the job nicely. Stapleton Lass ran a nice race, the New Zealand filly.
In front of River's Edge, Stapleton Lass getting into the clear. Silver Smith on the outside, struggling a little bit. Pine Lodge Girl, the leader, 150 metres out. Tiley going for the whip. It's Pine Lodge Girl a length in front of River's Edge, who's fighting on. Then Stapleton Lass and Silver Smith, but Pine Lodge Girl in front, close to the line. Pine Lodge Girl first, Stapleton Lass got second, River's Edge third.
Punters on target in the second when Vividly scored. Good training performance by Bob Hoisted. This 4-year-old hadn't appeared since last September, and he was getting a bit weary on the line and inclined to race a little erratically, but he was able to hold off Right Missile, who I think indicated he's getting back near top form again. This is Vividly taking out the second.
Big question. Mr. Shaw still there in third place, an egotistical jukebox jury, Right Missile. Further back, King's Inn, and then So Easy to See. Vividly coming at Bicata, 200 metres to go. Vividly takes the lead from Bicata. It's Vividly almost a length in front of Bicata. There's no gas in the tank with Vividly. He's got him under the whip and he's running out badly, and here's Right Missile flying home. Vividly might just hang on. Vividly in front, they hit it. Vividly has just beaten Right Missile. Bicata third. Boy, he was erratic.
Swift Sind is unbeaten in 3 starts following her victory in the third yesterday. This is a very classy filly. Neil Williams had to start her up to get across from a wide barrier. She cruised outside the leaders and then just waltzed away in the straight, and there seemed plenty in reserve at the finish.
But Williams releases the brakes on the favourite and she bounded away from them. 250 metres to go. Boy, he is riding confidently. He snuck a look over the shoulder. He's 3 lengths in front on Swift Sin. Meadows Pride running second, then Perfume and Lace. Astraway, Charno making ground, and then Wairoo. This is another easy one for Swift Sin. She's going to win it easily. Swift Sin cruises to the post, or plenty of gas in the tank too.
Well, Pat mentioned earlier Planet Ruler taking out the Queensland Guineas yesterday, and what a fantastic performance that was. He'd won 8 on the trot going into the Classic, but bookies took plenty of risks with him, and he was neglected by and large by punters, getting out to start 8 to 1. He's handicapped by the outside alley, and Brian York wasn't able to get him up near the lead early. He's in lilac colours, running about midfield at this stage. Keep your eye on him through the run. He's always 4 and 5 wide, but he shows great courage in the straight.
In fact, he's dashed up and he's gone to the lead. Planet Ruler about midfield and very wide. Brixton Town the leader, 1,300 metres out, leads by a half length on Ascot Lane. One to our Poetic Prince. Allen's got him over, one off the rails in third spot at the moment. Silver Sierra fourth on the inside, then Judy Ann and Petrero. Over on the rails is Don't Play, followed by Come On Eileen. Planet Ruler still fairly deep. One to Butterfly Star fairly wide. English Garden getting back to midfield with Twining. Trapped deep is Harlan Star, Mr. Dynamite and Mighty Grey, then Mighty Willem. And last of all is Navajo Girl coming down the side. They've got 800 metres to go. Ascot Lane with the advantage of the inside, drives through and goes to a clear lead now. He's a length in front. Brixton Town second. Silver Sierra third, then our Poetic Prince, Judy Ann, Planet Ruler, Petrero, Don't Play. Followed by Come On Eileen, Butterfly Star, English Garden back on the rails. Then Harlan Star, Mr. Dynamite and Twining. Navajo Girl is third last, then Mighty Grey and Mighty Willem last of all. Coming around the home turn, 450 metres to go. Ascot Lane the leader. York has let go now on Planet Ruler, and he dashed up to them. Judy Ann going with him. Brixton Town still there in the middle. Our Poetic Prince now pulled to the outside, then Silver Sierra. Petrero just behind them, and then Don't Play. 250 metres to go. Judy Ann just in front of Planet Ruler. Planet Ruler grabbed her. Here's our Poetic Prince coming after Planet Ruler. York gets anxious. He's gone for the whip on him. Judy Ann's kicking again on the inside. Planet Ruler in front. This is going to be a fantastic win. Planet Ruler.
Super performance by Planet Ruler, and a feature of quite a few of his wins has been the way he's responded when Brian York has put him under pressure. As we show you the slow-mo now of the final stages, you can notice each time that York does hit him with the whip, he is able to find something. Now, he's on the outside of Judy Ann, and it's our Poetic Prince, the favourite, issuing his challenge on the outside. But look at this, York goes for the whip, and he just gives him a couple. He's just inclined to shift in a bit, but once he straightens him up and again asks him the question with the whip, away he goes from Judy Ann, and our Poetic Prince is not able to make up the leeway on the outside. A very, very strong win from Planet Ruler, and he now is equal favourite for the Elders Handicap on June 11, when he'll meet the older sprinters, and at this stage I think he's the one that most rivals fear. Sixth event went to the Kiwi mare Thin as a Bell, who disappointed in the Channel 9 Cup. Back on firm ground yesterday, she went to the line very strongly.
Dazzling Duke, the outside, they're locked together. Finezza Bell, she's out in the middle of the track. She's hitting top gear now. She's after Dazzling Duke. Finezza Bell loomed up to Dazzling Duke and Mona Star. Finezza Bell grabbed the lead from Dazzling Duke and Mona Star, and she's edging away close to the wire. Finezza Bell first. Adatari might have got second. He flashed home at the end. Dazzling Duke and Mona Star, and a photo.
Finezza Bell, another who's going to line up in the Prime Minister's Cup on Wednesday week. That's going to be a very good race down at the Gold Coast. Seventh event, and Foamy Ocean, the Victorian, didn't have a very good strike rate coming into this race, but he certainly looked a winner in the straight here, defeating Catering King, the New Zealander, who's in second place at this stage and going boldly.
Bankcoin and Imprimatur in the middle. Royal Real over on the inside. Urbane looking for a run on the inside. Bankcoin pulled out wide, and so is Swift Cheval. Cheval Jazz still the leader, 300 metres out. Catering King coming after him on the outside, then Royal Real Imprimatur. Foamy Ocean from a long way back, running on strongly, and Swift Cheval on the extreme outside. Catering King hit the lead. Foamy Ocean coming at Catering King. Catering King and Foamy Ocean. Catering King, Foamy Ocean. Catering King just in front. They hit it. Oh, it's close.
Nice to see trainer Arthur Lindley back in the winning list. He's had a few setbacks with health problems, but now I'm sure he's past those, and Foamy Ocean is going to run in the Elders Handicap, and perhaps has got an each-way chance there as well. Randwick was the venue for Sydney racing yesterday. We're going to pick up the action in the first leg of the treble down there. It went to Ironic Lady, who led throughout in the Orlando Wines Cup over 2,400 metres.
Esther on, followed by Flying Gypsy, Careless Love, and then Son of Bijou. Out at the head of the others, then Mr. Marceau. 200 out, Ironic Lady fighting on like a tigress. Ironic Lady in front from Careless Love, getting into the open now. Ironic Lady tackled by Careless Love. It's Ironic Lady still in front. Careless Love coming quickly. Oh, Ironic Lady on the inside, and Careless Love only a nose in it.
Gavin Duffy in superb form in Sydney yesterday. He scores here on Magic Gleam in the 5th event. Just hands and heels. Magic Gleam cruised past the favourite Maze K in the straight. Went on to score by 4 lengths.
The rider on Maze K had a quick peep. It's a half to 3/4 Nova edition. Raffaellini 3 wide. Merry Ruler waiting for the run. Magic Gleam comes into it. And then True Reason and Classic Hand. Dennis has had to pull the whip on Maze K. They might be going to run him down. Yeah, here comes Magic Gleam. And in one fell swoop, Magic Gleam raced away from Maze K and Raffaellini. And Magic Gleam, another one for the Duff. Magic Gleam will trot in. Maze K's held on to run second and third, a half head away.
Brass Flyer, aided by a dream run along the inside, just inside the 200 metres, was able to scramble home in a tremendous finish to the 3rd leg of the Sydney Treble.
A gap to the well-tried Bold Star as they straighten McLeod Star and to Plush Miel. A length and a quarter Bold Star, Brass Flyer the inside, and then Mighty Pattern. Here's Jim Bisque. At the 220 metres, the kid pulls the whip on McLeod Star. It's ahead, Plush Miel, Jim Bisque. Brass Flyer gets the run on the inner now. At the 150, McLeod Star fights on. Brass Flyer getting up on the inner from Plush Miel and Jim Bisque on the outer. McLeod Star in front. Brass Flyer comes up on the inside from Jim Bisque, but Brass Flyer's done too well and has beaten McLeod Star.
A little bit of rain about to Flemington as the field was coming around the home turn in the 1st leg of the treble down there. You can see it really starting to tumble down. Didn't worry Tin Woodman, who led. He was under plenty of pressure in the early part of the straight, but in the end he went away to score again decisively.
Back Squire's Fortune down to the 400-metre mark. Tin Woodman on the inside, the leader. Power of Destiny out 3 deep. Fearless Jake under pressure in the centre. Power of Destiny moved up to tackle Tin Woodman. They draw away from Fearless Jake. Then a gap, Nan Prosen further back Tiendi. It's Tin Woodman on the inside and Power of Destiny. Tin Woodman won't give in. He's ahead in front of Power of Destiny. They're clear of the others. Tin Woodman showing plenty of heart and neck in front of Power of Destiny. Tiendi getting to 3rd, and he's a good colt, Tin Woodman. Tin Woodman came right away to win a length and a half, Power of Destiny.
The metric mile went to Nakundra, who was well tried in the betting. 25s in to start 14 to 1. He burst through in the centre about the 250-metre mark and went away to score well from Chestnut King. Stylish Lord, the favourite, disappointing.
Hunter's Ace and Latin Rule followed by Noble Kit, then Drury's Son, and further back in the field at the head of the others, Western Ace down to the 400-metre mark. Caldiguer about a neck in front of Cold-Hearted Chestnut King. Stylish Lord trying to get a run further out Winter. Latin Rule joining in, Noble Kit getting a run, and Nakundra burst through in the centre. Nakundra swept through in the centre now to grab the front from Chestnut King. Then on the outside, Noble Kit, Latin Rule and I'm a Redmond, but Nakundra raced away, and he's home, Nakundra, holding Chestnut King and Noble Kit at bay. And on the run to the line, it's Nakundra by 3 lengths. Chestnut King second, 3rd home is...
7th event went to the 12 to 1 chance Hello Melbourne, who bolted away about the 250-metre mark. Daring John took a bit of ground off him at the finish, but it was a decisive victory to Hello Melbourne.
In front of Fighting Man, who's gone up second. Black Valley over on the fence trying to get a run from Prismatic Star. Hello Melbourne, and now Civic Hope is going to them pretty quickly out in the centre. Running down to the 300-metre mark, and Civic Hope grabbed by Hello Melbourne. Then Caledonian Boy and Daring John is giving them a big start, but Hello Melbourne went to the front with about 150 to go. From on the inside, Civic Hope, Daring John running home late, but Hello Melbourne's got a giant lead. He's out 3 lengths in front. Daring John making a lot of ground from Caledonian Boy. But Hello Melbourne too good by 2 lengths. Daring John second, 4 lengths away, Caledonian Boy 3rd.
Well, that's our racing segment this morning. We've got some good meetings coming up this week. Double header at Bundamba Tuesday and Wednesday. And it's Doomben Dollars at Doomben next Saturday, the $500,000 2-year-old race. And the barrier draw for that will be conducted at Toombul Shopping Town at lunchtime on Tuesday. And there'll be some free tickets available there too. So added incentive to get down to Toombul on Tuesday morning. Back to you, Pat. Happy Mother's Day.
Pandy Sun, Ark Royal and Fighting Force. The judge was able to separate them in yesterday's derby, but it was a rib tickler nevertheless. Let's pick them up as they turn for home and square up to the long, spacious home run at Morfettville in Adelaide.
Apollo Run looking for the run. Further back in the field, then out wide, a Celtic Spirit. Century Judge, Grosvenor Square couldn't win for mine. And down the outside, Terrific. Carpstad's gone to the front in the derby. Apollo Run's the danger on the outside. They're clear of further out on the track, Celtic Spirit. Carpstad in front, trying hard, Apollo Run. On the outside, Celtic Spirit, they bump. So in the centre, Apollo Run. Carpstad, Celtic Spirit, oh, what a go. Celtic Spirit, the outsider, Apollo Run, I reckon, and Carpstad is a nose away on the inside.
A spectacular sight in slow motion. You'll notice that all 3 horses are wearing blinkers. In fact, it looks more like a race in the United States. And it's the one on the outside, Celtic Spirit, getting there by a nose over Capstad on the inside rail. And splitting that pair was the 3rd place getter, Apollo Run. Tremendous finish. Great call by Pete Smith, who did a very good job
And
to
who
split
should
them
be
down.
here was here.
Bone Crusher in front, Bone Down on the outside is trying hard. Bone Crusher, Bozam, they go to the line. Bozam just got up to beat Bone Crusher.
The Queen is known to
Brent Thompson. As recently as last Sunday, Brent's younger sister Trudy was killed in a car accident in Victoria, and her funeral was held in Melbourne on Tuesday of this last week. I know Brent has been very saddened and very subdued as a result of it, and those couple of winners he rode at Morfordville yesterday were a real shot in the arm. His exhibition on Cameronic was a very polished one, and we're going to pick up Peter Smith's call of the closing stages of the famous Goodwood Handicap.
Purple Rain out wider, switching around horses now is Beau George and Lord Scotia right down the outside, and then Torello closer to the rails, 200 out. Taj Quillo, Confucius Flyer, and down the outside coming at them Cameronic, out wider even True Lord Scotia. Cameronic's gone to the front, running home strongly on the outside now Daring John, but Cameronic in front and Cameronic wins. A length and a half Daring John, nothing in it for third. Mr. Cheap maybe, but Torello's there from Princess Calabrina.
Yes, Mr. Cheap got third. The second horse, Daring John, of course, won the Goodwood Handicap last year, and well done, Brent Thompson. Now we go to Brisbane, where they had a fast track for the meeting at Doomben, and the $500,000 Doomben Dollars was the principal race on the program, and the winner, McGinty's Crown, scored a very, very good win. He showed terrific pace to kick away as they came around the turn, and he ran out an easy winner. Now let's pick up the action just prior to the corner, where McGinty's Crown's rider Shane Scriven said, "Let's go, boy." He had a peep over the shoulder and he straightened up well clear. There's Ken Russell getting into second place on Sea Cabin. On the rails weakening is Northern Baron. Further out, Comely Maid, followed by Bentley Park and Luskin Court. But it's all McGinty's Crown as they get near home, and the Little Chestnut Colt is too strong and goes on to beat Sea Cabin, and Luskin Court was a good third. I think we all remember the winner's sire, McGinty, that great little New Zealander who beat Masquet in a lead-up to the Golden Slipper back in the early 80s, only to fracture a cannon bone, and he made a miracle comeback about a year later to win the Canterbury Guineas here in Sydney. He was one hell of a horse, McGinty, and his stock are showing that same toughness and durability. On to race 7 yesterday, the BATC Sprint over 1,350, and this resulted in a terrific finish. And we pick up the action as they swing around the home corner, and Miraben is first into the straight. Rendu is running second in the yellow colours. He starts to struggle immediately, however. On the rails in the pink colours is Cool Report. Catering King is the big chestnut, and down the outside in the white blinkers is Lots of Rule, who's setting sail after the leader, Miraben. Miraben looked likely to see it out, but inch by inch, Lots of Rule wears him down. They hit the line absolutely locked together, and Lots of Rule got there by a nose over Miraben. Cool Report was third, and Lots of Rule scored his 10th win in 34 starts. He's been a very consistent performer. Now we go to Randwick, where we had a glorious autumn day and the best track that Sydney punters have had to contend with in many, many weeks. I'm showing you this race because I believe the winner, Zamantic, has some sort of a future. Let's firstly have a look at the way he did the job yesterday, and then we'll analyse his performance. Now, as they turn for home, Zamantic is the horse in third place in the red sleeves, white armbands, white cap. Over the rise, Nixon on the inside is just the leader from Tip of the Iceberg. Now, when Kevin Moses pulls Zamantic to the outside, the horse doesn't accelerate immediately. You can see there that it takes him a little while to wind up, which indicates to me that he's really looking for further than 1,600 metres. But boy, oh boy, he motored home in the last bit and got up to score over Nixon, who's a pretty tidy galloper, and Tip of the Iceberg was in third place. The winner is Lightly Raced. That was his 8th start. He's won 3 of them, and you watch for him over a distance beyond 1,600. Now we go to Caulfield and the Hawksburn Handicap, one of the great old races on the BATC calendar. And Quiet Sensation looked all over a winner when he was well clear soon after they turned for home. But Braquilo was able to wear him down in the concluding stages. Those who'd backed Quiet Sensation must have been on very good terms with themselves. But watch to the left of your screen, Braquilo, pale green colours and yellow blinkers, and he gives this leader a big start, but he comes home with a real rush. Shackle Star in the white cap is also running on well, but the 5-year-old Braquilo finished far the better and beat Quiet Sensation with Shackle Star third, and Braquilo yesterday was having his 47th race start, and he's now won 9 of them. Well, every small country racing club looks forward to its annual cup meeting when seemingly the whole town turns out. It was Cup Day at Bathurst last week in the central west of New South Wales, a Cup Day with a very nostalgic theme. A sparkling autumn day saw a big crowd turn out at Tyers Park for the Bicentennial Cup meeting, and many racegoers turned back the hands of time in the Fashion Stakes. In fact, the overall emphasis was on the good old days, and the highlight of the program was a 6-horse exhibition gallop featuring some of the great jockeys of yesteryear. Looking trim and taut was 66-year-old Athol George Mully, wearing the familiar colours of Burnborough, a horse that launched him as a big-time jockey in the 1940s. Burnborough's freakish finishing sprint saw him win 26 races, 15 straight at one stage. Mully rode close to 4,000 winners in an illustrious career, and when legged onto this fictitious Burnborough, looked as though he'd never been away. Teddy Doon, somewhere around the 60 mark, wore the colours of Buonarotti Boy, the horse that gave him his most important success more than 40 years ago in the AJC Metropolitan at Randwick. Way back then, Teddy Doon had the impish grin and the devilish sense of humour that was to stamp him as one of the great characters of Australian racing. Peter Gumbleton took part in the event, so did Sammy Howard, and former top country riders Reg Payne and Tiger Holland. The oldies dashed over 800 metres from a flag start, and this was one time when Burnborough's famous finishing run was lacking. Reg Payne beat Athol George Mully with Teddy Doon in third place. The crowd loved it, the Bathurst Turf Club were delighted, and the old-time jockeys had a ball. They were probably not quite as chirpy the following morning when the inevitable saddle soreness set in. And here's another old-timer.
There would have been some big cheers in Sydney. He's part owned by Ian Craig and John Tapp, the two race callers down there, and well ridden out in front by Shane Trewick.
Paradise going forward. Captain Quig is next on the outside, straightening up 400 metres to go. Aldenidi a length in front of River's Edge. Datum Pointers now popped the big question. He's running on gamely on the outside. Tats Road behind them, then Orange and Green, Stableton Lass and Noble Paradise out wide. Aces and Kings can't win. Aldenidi still the leader, 100 metres to go. Tats Road coming after him on the outside. Aldenidi's giving plenty. He's a length in front. Tats Road can't reach him at the moment. Neither can River's Edge. Aldenidi in front. They hit it, and he's won it. Aldenidi first, River's Edge second.
Just one sobering thought when you consider the format of that event for future races, that the three place getters were the first three most of the way, and it was a real sit and sprint, a slowly run affair early. So perhaps the backmarkers really shouldn't be condemned for their defeats yesterday in the second event. Third was Planet Ruler, 10 in a row, and it confirmed his rating as one of the favourites for the Elders handicap. Brian York rode him very confidently. Eye of the Sky, you'll note, is a little deep coming towards the home turn. He battles on well.
King's Currency just in front of Planet Ruler. He's popped the big question now, Planet Ruler. He's coming after King's Currency. Eye of the Sky is the length away third, followed by Ima Raymond and then Oppeneer, Dancing Poet and Clary's Hope on the outside. 200 metres to go. Planet Ruler's poked his nose in front. It's Planet Ruler, a neck in front. Eye of the Sky on the outside, trying hard to go with Planet Ruler, but he's producing plenty. Planet Ruler's a length in front, now a length and a half in front, and he's moving away on the wire. Planet Ruler goes on and beats Eye of the Sky with King's Currency third. Right Missile.
Well, Brian York just had to give Planet Ruler a couple of reminders with the whip. He'll show you the slow-mo of the final stages, and you make up your own mind whether you think he had much in reserve. You'll notice here York has the whip backhand. He's only just flicking at Planet Ruler, who's stretching out nicely. Now, Eye of the Sky is fighting valiantly under his big weight. He's had 58.5 yesterday and was giving a couple of kilos to Planet Ruler. You'll notice York just gives Planet Ruler a couple of hard whacks there, and then he knows that he's got it safely in his keeping, and he just lets him really coast to the line. I felt that there was something there, and bear in mind, he's a horse who really does give plenty when challenged by another horse, and even though Eye of the Sky was hot on his trail, he really didn't go up and put full pressure on Planet Ruler. I still think he's going to be hard to beat in the Elders. The Queensland Oaks was the highlight of yesterday's meeting. Went to Bravery. She had to overcome a wide passage and also lost off for plate in running, which caused her to race a little erratically in the straight.
Quite smartly from gate 12, and Kurabolka began okay. Sarah Strina quickly away, and Sinclair popping into a nice posse over on the inside in the early stages. Great Walk is showing plenty of speed coming down the straight the first time, and in fact she's going to take up the running. It's Great Walk crossing over onto the rails to lead joint at count. Sinclair pulling a little bit on the inside of Marlotta, Kratom and Kurabolka. Judy Ann about 4 deep. Bravery in between horses. Tajara's one away from the rails, racing on the inside of Bravery. Ironic Lady popping up into a handy spot, running about 6th. Miss Tess is trapped a bit wide on the turn out of the straight. Now Sinclair getting back to midfield on the inside of Sarah Strina. Then English Garden, Stormy Glynis, Palace Revolt a long way back. So too is Winifred Street, Kratom, and Twining is last of all. Heading up towards the 1600, Joint Account takes over. Leads by a length, Judy Ann now second. 2 away third, Kurabulka. Wonder Great Walk on the inside of Ironic Lady, beautifully placed. Marlotta running sixth on the inside. A half to Miss Fleet and then Miss Tess on the outside. Back along the rails is Sinclair and then Bravery and Tajara there in the middle. A length and a half to Sarah Streiner, then Stormy Glynis and English Garden. Palace Revolt a fair way from them in the early part of the race, and then Winifred Street. A break of 4 lengths to Twining and Kratom at the rear, 1,300 metres out. They race along the back straight, and the leader, Joint Account. There's no speed on at the moment. Joint Account by a length and a half. Judy Ann running second. There goes Sarah Streiner from back in the field. He wasn't happy with the pace, so he's let the New Zealand filly go right up around the outside of them, and she's moved into third or fourth place on the outside. Kurabulka next in between horses there, Ironic Lady. Wonder Bravery, who's tracking forward behind Sarah Streiner. Great Walkers next on the inside, and Wonder Miss Tess and Marlotta, then Tajara. Miss Fleet going backwards at the moment, being passed by Sinclair, English Garden. A length to Stormy Glynis, Palace Revolt, then Winifred Street, Twining, and Kratom is at the rear of the field. Coming down the side, 700 metres out, Joint Account about to be joined by Judy Ann on the outside. 1 length away third, Ironic Lady, who's had a beautiful run. Bravery's a bit wide coming to the home turn. She's 4 deep, but she's going up to them. Sarah Streiner just inside of her, going forward as well. Tajara just behind them, coming to the outside. In the straight now, 400 metres to go. Judy Ann takes the lead. Here comes Bravery with a big run, and Ironic Lady is going with her. 3 of them stretched across the track, 300 metres out. Bravery now, she shoots to the lead on the outside. She's in front of Judy Ann and Ironic Lady. They're clear of Tajara, English Garden. Bravery, she's drifting out to the middle of the track, but she's in front. Cassidy content to ride her hands and heels. Now he pulls the whip on her. Judy Ann's boxing on gamely, but Bravery's too strong, and it's the Oaks to Bravery. Bravery first, Judy Ann second, third Ironic Lady, then English Garden and Tajara.
Well-deserved victory there to Bravery. She was undoubtedly the unlucky runner during the Sydney Autumn Carnival, in particular in the AJC Oaks. Well, race 7 was the Lightning Handicap, regarded as a traditional lead-up to the Elders, and it was a tremendous 2-horse war between Rancho Ruler and Royal Handout. The very consistent and classy Rancho Ruler just a shade too strong.
Garrison is running third at the moment. Linslove over on the inside, followed by Bay of Plenty, Roses for Us, Hope and Star, Power Arrow. Alamander Boy next on the outside, and then Golden Unicorn, 200 metres to go. Rancho loomed up on the outside of Royal Handout. They're going stride for stride. This is going to be his day today, I think, for a big one, Rancho. Rancho's in front, drawing clear of Royal Handout, and Rancho Ruler, he's finally broken through for a big one. Rancho Ruler first, second Royal Handout, and they streeted the rest of them.
The final event, the Classic Jewellers Handicap over 1,810 metres, and victory to the Kiwi Flying Luskin, who was well ridden by substitute rider Ross Elliott. Thought the effort of Mr. Dynamite in making up plenty of ground late was very good, and another Kiwi, Mr. Kingston Lane, a good third.
Mr. Kingston Lane pulled to the outside, putting in a run. Flying Luskin just behind them. To the outside, Some Charm. Running on gamely, Prince Toranaga. Mr. Dynamite on the outside, and then Be Reasonable. 200 metres out, Mr. Kingston Lane dashed up. Flying Luskin's got a run on the inside. He's chasing this other bloke, and it's the Kiwis fighting it out. Here comes Mr. Dynamite. He's flying home. Flying Luskin just in front of Mr. Dynamite, and Flying Luskin beat Mr. Dynamite. Mr. Kingston Lane third.
Well, that was the final event from Eagle Farm yesterday. We switch now to Sydney, and the action yesterday at Rose Hill. 4th event down there, first leg of the Queensland TAB treble, went to Potter McQueen, who's in blue and pink colours, and he looms up threateningly about the 200-metre mark and goes on to score quite decisively from Farris King, who came from a mile back.
A length away third is Potter McQueen. Classic Hound the inside, and then Magic Gleam. McLean's gone for Maze K. There's nothing there. And at the 250, and here Smoke goes to the lead from Potter McQueen. Maze K the rails. Magic Gleam is struggling. Now Potter McQueen pops the question to Smoke and heads it off. Farris King rocketing down the outside. It'll be too late, and Potter McQueen beat Farris King. Third home in the race was Cupillus.
Race 5, the Tui Stayers Cup, and victory to Shane Dye, who incidentally scored 4 wins yesterday at Rose Hill. He scored here on Impresetto. The Brisbane Cup favourite, Lord Highbrow, had a big weight, 58 kilos. He laboured a little bit over the final stages to finish third, but it was a solid cup trial.
Tambu races to the lead, and at the 300 metres, Mount Tambu kicked away. Esther on second from Bo Jacob. Lord Highbrow on the outside with Impresetto. Lord Highbrow under pressure. 200 out, Mount Tambu in front. Impresetto a length and a half second. Lord Highbrow next. Impresetto's collaring Mount Tambu. It's Impresetto on the outside, racing to the lead, and Impresetto wins the cup from Mount Tambu.
Final leg of the treble was the Welter Handicap. Race 7 went to Gavin Duffy, who scored on a pretty promising 3-year-old here, Zamantic. He explodes away halfway down the straight, and the Duff just hands and heels. cantered in on him.
Now Zamatic's got a beautiful run through. Seal with a kiss laid away from the rails, and Zamatic quickly shot away. At the distance, it's Zamatic by 2 lengths, Gally Gaskins, and then comes Balmoral and Garuna. Kalani's pick runs home pretty well, but the Duff hands and heels on Zamatic, now shakes him up, and Zamatic has got this one. Zamatic well clear of Garuna, Kalani's pick, and Balmoral, and Zamatic's a mile too strong. And Zamatic from Garuna, third Kalani's pick, and the fourth Balmoral.
I think there's more where that came from for Zamatic, who looks pretty promising. Well, Sandown was the venue for Melbourne racing, and the first leg of the treble there, race 4 over 2,100 metres, and it looked as though Triple Lark was in real bother at the home turn, where Lonely Nights loomed up and looked set to race past him, but Triple Lark kicked back very strongly on the inside, and Lonely Nights faded badly.
In front, he's coming back to them. Lonely Nights got to him quickly. Lonely Nights swept to the front of the 400-metre mark from Triple Lark, who's fighting on. 3 lengths further back, I'm a Redmond under a lot of pressure. They're the only chances. Starlet Princess is headed out past the middle. It's Triple Lark on the inside again in front of Lonely Nights at the 200. They're well clear of I'm a Redmond, and then Starlet Princess coming to the outside fence. But Triple Lark, with the advantage of the inside, has kicked away from Lonely Nights. And Triple Lark will get the money. 2 lengths Lonely Nights. Third's going to be tight here. Out wide on the track. Oh, Starlet Princess, he's gone out towards the outside rail with it.
Fifth event was the Zephyr Bay Plate over 1,000 metres, and Jet Fighter did his chances of coming to Brisbane for the Carnival no harm by finishing second. The winner here was Fighting Man, interestingly owned by Robert Holmes at Court. Jet Fighter's the widest runner in the red cap.
Heavenly Talk from Roman Artist, Buranti, All Spades, Laird's Memory. Well back as Havelock's Pride, Braquillo out in the middle from Fast and Furious, Glowing Idol. Then Captain Police, and last of all, Richport, Raw Edge in front, but Fighting Man went to it quickly. Fighting Man's moved up to Raw Edge. They've got away now from Jet Fighter running on well, but Fighting Man got the winning break over Raw Edge, then Jet Fighter from Havelock's Pride, and Fighting Man races away for an easy win. Fighting Man by 3 lengths. Second home is Jet Fighter. Raw Edge just got third from All Spades.
Third leg of the treble, again the welter handicap over 1,500 metres, and Springfield Lad looked to be in an impossible position, only 200 metres out, but he really rocketed home down the centre of the track to defeat Aberiti, who fought on well, and Norwin Mays.
50 out and Aberiti 2 in front. Norwin Hayes has got rails run all the way through the field, and here it comes now. Norwin Hayes moved up to Aberiti, 250 to go. 3 lengths to Red Henry, then further back Oban from Springfield Lad getting home late. Aberiti now grabbed by Norwin Hayes. It's swept to the front. Norwin Hayes from Aberiti fighting back. It's Norwin Hayes in front. Here's Springfield Lad out of the ground. He'll beat them all. Springfield Lad with a mighty run over the top of them, and Springfield Lad gets up to win. Aberiti fought back to run second. Ahead away third, Norwin Hayes.
Well, that was a flying finish by Springfield Lad. I think the 2 leaders were getting a bit weary, probably accentuated that finishing burst. Well, we're going to show you the slow-mo of race 8 from Eagle Farm yesterday, and I suggest you follow the runner-up here, Mr. Dynamite. Good runs also from the Kiwis, the winner Flying Luskin, and the third place getter, Mr. Kingston Lane. We'll pick up the action as they get near the line. You can see Mr. Kingston Lane's in front, not for long. Flying Luskin going up along the inside, well handled by Ross Elliott. Now look at the horse deepest on the track. That's Mr. Dynamite, who's really rocketing home. There was a ton of pace in this race. He got a long way out of his ground. But I like the way he sustained his finishing burst, and he's going to run now in the Grand Prix Stakes over 2,100 metres, and the extra distance is going to suit him. Certainly the opposition's going to be pretty hot there with also Bravery and Brixton Town, but I thought that effort by Mr. Dynamite was very good. Another horse to follow we've got here in race 6, and it's the runner-up Gubba Gold. I'll show you the slow-mo now of the final stages. He's well held by River Jordan, who ran on strongly. Now, they're the 2 horses out deep on the track in the green colours. It's River Jordan just in screen now. Gubba Gold is on the outside. Mud Crab is the horse over on the inside who's clear at this stage. Mick Dittman going for home with the whip. And you can see River Jordan on the one from the outside, and Gubba Gold and Neil Williams. Now, they've been deep throughout, so I thought his effort to keep fighting on strongly here was very good. River Jordan had a better run in transit, and not surprisingly was just able to hold off Gubba Gold. But I think soon due the Caloundra-trained Gubba Gold, he won't be long winning in this class. So there are our 2 horses to follow from Eagle Farm, Gubba Gold and Mr. Dynamite. That's our racing section this morning. We've got a good meeting at Bundambra on Wednesday. It's the Coca-Cola Challenge Intermediate up there. And next Saturday, of course, it's Tourist Ministers' Cup Day at Doomben. Back to you, Pat.
Thanks, Bart. Some big things coming up in the big $1 million, $5 million winter racing carnival, isn't it?
A lot of money.
Yeah, there is too. Take a break.
At the moment, and Super Seal is 5 in front of Hobig, Roxanne, Lady Hunterly and Wild and Woolly boxing on. But Super Seal has literally run them off their legs inside the 200. Super Seal will have to fair dinkum paddle to get beaten. It's out 4 on Wild and Woolly. Lady Hunterly won't run a drum, and Super Seal's going to win the money. Super Seal strolls to the line by 4 lengths to Wild and Woolly. Third was Hobig.
The middle pin of the Sydney Treble, Pat Welch's horse here, Gay Scene, leading throughout, looked under a bit of pressure at the home turn. You should have been on this one, Pat. A leader like you.
I missed it.
Well, Gay Scene was under plenty of pressure just after they straightened, naturally in pink colours, fought on well to defeat Gem Bisque, who ran on late.
Gem Bisque on the outside and Keenland breezed the rails. 2 off to Onoda, Shadowy Waters and Farzak as they turn the bend. The Crillionaire now upsides tackling Gay Scene for the lead as they come up the rise. Gage is about to issue its challenge. Shining Hero can't get a run from Cloud Chief and Keenland breeze, and now Gem Bisque is unwinding in a hurry. The Crillionaire and Gay Scene together. Gem Bisque is rattling down the outside. It'll be too late. It ran into a dead end. Gay Scene went to the lead. Gem Bisque is coming quickly. Gay Scene in front. Gem Bisque I don't think will get it, and Gay Scene punched right out the win. Gay Scene by 3/4 of a length. Gem Bisque. Third in the race was Shining Hero from the...
Well, Gem Bisque was coming quickly, but Gay Scene just a little too strong. 7th event, the third leg of the treble down there, went to LA Streak in the well-known black and yellow colours. At the 200 metres, looked to have a task of overhauling the leader Nova Edition, but in the end, it was a 2 lengths victory to LA Streak.
Kiwi Kong further back in the race was hit again. Benny Irish Maiden and LA Streak over the rise. Nova Edition the leader. Here comes True Reason under the whip giving something, and wider out as Paris King running home well with LA Streak. They haven't got Nova Edition. LA Streak is running home quickly from Paris King. True Reason gone. Nova Edition with 100 to run the leader, but LA Streak on the outside has closed in a rush, and LA Streak is going to roar away and win easily. LA Streak scores by 2 lengths on the line. Nova Edition second. Third.
First leg of the Moonee Valley treble in Melbourne yesterday was race 4 over 2,600 metres, and Blondeau looked to be in a bit of trouble at the home turn. He was momentarily headed by Hackett's Inn, but Blondeau in the red colours kicked back.
In front near the line from Hackett's Inn and Dobbin Deans, and over on the inside Pika McGuess, but Blondeau has won. Tight for second. It's Hackett's Inn or Pika McGuess, the rail from Starlet Princess.
Take my word for it was 2,600 metres, not 26. 5th event went to Toyd in blue colours out very deep at the home turn. Sustained his run to go on to score well at big odds, coming back in distance but to handle the 1,600 metres well.
Big Zapple down the outside is Aldenate. It's Toyd in front close to the line, and Toyd is going to get the money here. Back to the 1,600 and Toyd has won. Toyd 3/4 to possibly Aldenate and Nose Nakundra.
Disputed Pearl and Raw Edge had a good battle in the straight in the final leg of the Melbourne treble. It was Disputed Pearl just a shade too strong in the last 100 metres, but Raw Edge certainly one to follow.
Light show, they straighten up. Disputed Pearl, Raw Edge together. 2 lengths in front of Quiet Sensation. They look to be the chances from Flyaway, but Raw Edge is a neck in front. Disputed Pearl comes again. They're stride for stride. Disputed Pearl put its nose in front of Raw Edge. Disputed Pearl in front, and Disputed Pearl gets up to win. A neck to Raw Edge, 2 lengths Quiet Sensation third.
We've got 2 horses to follow from the Doomben meeting yesterday, and they both came up in the final event. It went to Young Cabinia. Good effort by the runner-up Baghdad Boy. We'll show you the slow-mo of the final stages, and I think both these are going to be very hard to beat at their next start. Young Cabinia, in fact, is a chance to go to Melbourne for the Spring Carnival. Now, it's the grey Baghdad Boy getting clear and looking set for victory, but watch this finishing surge by Young Cabinia. He's certainly a horse who knows where the winning post is. He's scored his last 3 wins in similar fashion with a late run, and he nails Baghdad Boy right in the last few strides. Good performance there. Well, that's our racing segment this morning. Back to you, Pat.
Funny you should highlight Young Cabinia.
Yes, well, I'm a bit like you. I talk through my pocket at times.
Some big events coming up, obviously.
Yes, we've got a good meeting at Doomben on Wednesday, Bundamba Thursday, and next Saturday I think is the best meeting in the Queensland racing calendar. We've got the Grand Prix, the Sires, the Ansett Cup, the South Mole Flying, and of course the O'Shea Stakes, which is a big lead up to the Brisbane Cup. So we're going to have plenty of racing news, and we'll have it all in the Courier Mail this week.
And what about the Elders? Of course, that is the big one as far as the sprint events go. You're still sticking with Planet Ruler?
I think he's going to be very hard to beat, Planet Ruler. He's probably the barrier draw is going to be crucial to his chances, although he did come from a wide alley in the Guineas and score. But in this sort of class, I'd like to see him draw somewhere around about 5 or 6, and I think he'd be very hard to beat. But could be some interesting trials come out of the Ansett Cup and the South Mole Flying next Saturday.
I noticed Mr. McLaughlin back in town last night too. He's
Yes.
after his overseas jaunt.
Yes, he's was following the bullets
He
very
was
closely.
the bullets last
He'll
night.
Channel 9 Stakes tomorrow, and he carried the 58 kilos in effortless style. The opposition wasn't good, but the performance was slick.
Kicked away, led by almost a length on Lovetown. Zetatape now pulled to the outside. He's wobbling about a little bit, but he's hitting top gear. He's after Gypsy Rogue. Unforeseen behind them, and then Bentley Park, 250 metres to go. Hall riding pretty confidently. He's joined Gypsy Rogue. It's Zetatape just in front of Gypsy Rogue. He leads him by a neck or so. They're well clear of Unforeseen, and Zetatape just coming away in the last little bit. Hall forced to slap him up a little bit. He rides him hands and heels, and he beats Gypsy Rogue by a length. That was a nice pipe opener.
Well, it was a good pipe opener for the Channel 9 Stakes tomorrow. He's going to be the favourite, and he has a task stepping up to 1,600 metres. Second event went to Neil Williams on Sunset Hill. Now, we're going to show you this action from the home turn. You'll notice that Williams changed the whip over just below the 200-metre mark. And now Sunset Hill is the horse to watch. He's in white colours, and he's running about 4th or 5th. Now he's behind Bold Bijou is the horse in the red cap. Now he eases to the outside of him, My Halley Star, and you can see Williams change the whip over. There he goes into the right hand, and he really has to get busy with the whip from this point to get Sunset Hill home. Bold Bijou, having his first run since May the 14th, looked as though he was going to score at this stage, but Sunset Hill was just too strong at the end of the 2,200 metres. Neil Williams, you can see, very vigorous with the whip. It took its toll because Williams was most distressed after this event and had to stand down from his remaining engagements, but we hope that he'll be bouncing back bigger and better than ever at Eagle Farm tomorrow. Third event was the Queensland Derby, and a bonny little filly, Bravery, beautifully ridden by Jim Cassidy, was just a fraction too strong for the colt Impresetto, who tried valiantly. You'll notice he's the widest runner at the home turn in the Derby. He had to come from a long way back, and his effort was very good, and I think he's one to mark down for the spring. But certainly Bravery, a very good filly, and at this stage she's one of the early picks for the Melbourne Cup.
Swept up on the outside and hit the lead, but here comes Bravery. Bravery's after Judy Ann, 300 metres out. Bravery dashed up on the outside of Judy Ann. She's not going to give in, Judy Ann. Judy Ann and Bravery, they're locked together. Impresetto is a length away third, trying hard. Bravery grabbed the lead. She's just in front. Cassidy throwing everything at her. Judy Ann's battling on with Impresetto, but Bravery, she's going to win the Oaks Derby double. Bravery first, Impresetto second, third.
Great filly, Bravery. And a great sprinter, miler, Campaign King. We'll show you now the Elders handicap, and well, you just couldn't find an excuse for another runner. Campaign King was poised just a bit better than midfield as they swept towards the home turn, but once they straightened up, he displayed tremendous acceleration under his big weight. Here they go from the start.
Time in the early part, Planet Ruler began quickly. He's third after they go 100 metres or so. Rancho Ruler and Mirabin both showing blistering speed from the outside, with Mirabin going to the lead in the early part. Mirabin is the leader. Miss Muffet is up nice and handy. She's second, and Planet Ruler beautifully placed third. Foamy-Ocean is fourth on the inside, surprisingly showing plenty of dash, Foamy-Ocean, followed by Rendu and Cameronic in trouble early. Rancho Ruler fairly deep. Mary Ruler next on the inside. Jet Fighter Campaign King is midfield at the moment. A length further back then to Bo Zephyr, followed by Isoma and Our Poetic Prince, who's wide on the track. Dancing Poet in between horses. Sir Stacey's a long way back with Mr. Bourbon Boy, Eye of the Sky, and Some Charmers last of all. The big field thunders over the crossing, 600 metres out. Mirabin's the leader. Planet Ruler is sitting pretty second on the outside. Wonder Black Charleston. Foamy-Ocean over on the inside. Rancho Ruler back behind a wall of horses. Our Poetic Prince is just in front of him. They flatten for the run in, 400 metres out. York Pop's in the big question. There's one down. Rendu's fallen. Planet Ruler hit the lead, 300 metres out. Foamy-Ocean after him, and here comes Campaign King right down the outside. Our Poetic Prince is flashing home as well. York's gone for the whip on Planet Ruler. The King's got him. Campaign King dashed up on the outside, took the lead from Planet Ruler, and Campaign King, one of the greatest horses we've ever seen. He's racing away to score easily. What a win. Campaign King first. Rancho Ruler's got second, I think. Planet Ruler.
Well, the very good call there by Wayne Wilson. Campaign King, and just clearly too good. Great acceleration under the big weight, and he's going to be set now for weight for age races in the spring and try to crack that $2 million barrier. We'll pick up the slow-mo now just after they straighten. You'll notice Steve Schofield gets a tumble from Rendu. Now he's in brown and yellow colours, about 3 back along the rails, and just angling for a run outside Foamy-Ocean, who moves out. Les Harris suspended for causing interference to Rendu. Incidentally, Rendu fell about 200 metres earlier in the same race last year. Now it's Planet Ruler clear. Foamy-Ocean first to go after him. York goes for home on the Brisbane 3-year-old, the Queensland 3-year-old Planet Ruler. He goes for the whip, and he looked as though he was going to be hard to beat. But in 3 or 4 giant strides, Campaign King, that distinctive baldy face, down the outside. Marshall goes for the whip, and the champ responds. and bang, he's got Planet Ruler in a couple of strides and then just careers away. Now, Rancho Ruler was involved in a bit of a buffeting at the home turn, and once he balanced up and gained momentum, he started to chase out after Campaign King, but the bird had well and truly flown. It was Campaign King clear, and Rancho Ruler just edging past Planet Ruler, who finished a gallant third. A great effort by the King, Campaign King, and the King of the trainers, Bart Cummings, as well. Race 6 was the O'Shea Stakes, the main lead up to the Brisbane Cup tomorrow, and Lord Highbrow confirmed his position as second favourite. He's going to challenge the Cummings trained around the world for favouritism after this eye-catching performance. He showed great acceleration in the straight as well, and as a muddling run affair, it was surprising he was able to sprint so quickly.
Highbrow and Card Shark winding up on the outside. Colour Page is the first beaten. Sinclair has kicked again. Lord Highbrow coming after Sinclair. Card Shark on the outside, trying hard to reach them, and then Rajamar. Lord Highbrow, he dashed up. He's hit the lead from Sinclair, and Lord Highbrow is starting to spear away the last little bit. He's coming away from them, and he's going to win it easily. Lord Highbrow first. Second, Card Shark.
Lord Highbrow taking out the O'Shea Stakes. Race 7 was regarded as a bit of a consolation for those who missed out in the Elders handicap. It was the Elders Resources Flying, $100,000, and Brian York made amends for his defeat on Planet Ruler in the Elders by scoring here on Lots of Rule from the Bruce McLaughlin stable, just edging out the Kiwi Regal Affair, and another New Zealander, Our Westminster, a gallant third. Our Westminster's the horse with the baldy face going up to the lead.
Our Westminster on the outside. The Kiwi popped the big question, and here comes another Kiwi, Regal Affair down the outside. Our Westminster moved up, hit the lead, tackled by Regal Affair. Cool Report and Lots of Rulers steaming home on the extreme outside with Royal Reel. Our Westminster just in front of Regal Affair. On the outside, Lots of Rulers cutting down the pair of them. I think he's going to get there. Lots of Rule, they hit it. Lots of Rule. I think Lots of Rule just got there. Lots of Rule, I'd say, has won it by a half head over either Regal Affair or...
We're going to switch now to Sydney and pick up the treble events from down there. It was Randwick yesterday. The first leg of the treble was race 4. It went to Dazzle, who led throughout. Looked as though he was going to hold on and score, not by a big margin, but decisively about 100 metres out. The runner-up Moorfield Star really lunged in the last 50 metres, and it was a very deceptive photo.
Rebels ahead of those, and Chihuahua at the rear. And the bend at 400 out. Dazzle by 3/4 on Moorfield Star. Cabaret Dancer and Misty Scarlet running on from Celebrity Lover, and you can't shoot the others. Hands over on the inside. Dazzle's the leader at the 200. Moorfield Star hasn't got it yet. Dazzle and Moorfield Star together from Celebrity Lover. Dazzle with 100 runs a half in front. Moorfield Star is pegging it back. Dazzle's a neck in front, now ahead in front. Moorfield Star's got it. Moorfield Star, Dazzle. One up, one down. It depends who's got the stride in on the line. Moorfield Star...
Well, it was Dazzle who just managed to cling on. Middle pin of the Sydney treble went to Mother Duck. The odds-on favourite Royal Handout led. He was last start second in Brisbane in the Lightning handicap and expected to be a good thing here, but Mother Duck was just a bit too strong for him in the last 100.
Magic Gleam well back with Rocket Master, followed by Tinted Blade and Steve's Return. At the 400, coming up the rise, Royal Handout the leader. Mother Duck is issuing a strong challenge on the outside, but Royal Handout's well together. They're clear of Comedy Gold, followed by Raging Blaze at the 200. Royal Handout the leader. Thompson's gone for it as Mother Duck has drawn level on the outside. Mother Duck's put its head in front of Royal Handout, being vigorously ridden. Mother Duck's just in front of Royal Handout, and Mother Duck wins the money. Mother Duck, too good, beat Royal Handout. Ravenstone ran third.
Race 7 went to King of Cavallero. You'll notice him on the fence, sharing the lead as they make the home turn. He then goes for home and kicks away. Was always in command from about the 300-metre mark.
Inside and Magic tossed the outer. Sansia's working into the pictures kindly, followed the inside by Lord Valrigo's Super Asset, and Rappin Prince on top of the rise. King of Cavallero headed off double schedule. Lord Valrigo is looking for the split. Sansia struggling, followed by Super Asset and Rappin Prince. But King of Cavallero, it's dashed away from the Magic Toss, and McLeod Star fighting out the minors with Lord Valrigo, but King of Cavallero's day today, and King of Cavallero wins the prize. King of Cavallero, 2 to Lord Valrigo. Toss up for third, Lars.
Now to Melbourne, Flemington yesterday. We pick up the treble action there in the first leg all the way to True Style. In fact, it was a day for front runners in the treble. The 3 winners all holding the vanguard position all the way. And True Style from the Colin Hayes stable had a little bit of support to start 10 to 1.
But he's about 7 deep, followed by Real Purpose. Nakundra back behind them, followed for the back by Ben Farris. And Take Heart was hampered, running down to the 300. And it's True Style, a length and a half. Bailiwick, Real Purpose on the outside, running home. Then further back, Take Heart and Nakundra getting out deep. They've grabbed True Style with about 150 to go. Real Purpose on the outside got to him. Bow Lane getting a late run, and down the outside, Take Heart and Nakundra. True Style about a neck in front. On the outside, Real Purpose, Bow Lane, Bailiwick trying to reach him. He's battling on True Style. He's a neck in front near the line, and True Style's won the money. He's won it ahead on the post to Real Purpose. Third at...
Race 5 went to Polydor, who led throughout, and he was always in command in the straight. Haughty Lad battled on strongly, but really wasn't in the hunt to pick up the leader.
Wings on her heels, and further out then Haughty Lad. Behind them, Worthy Kingdom from Daimus coming down to the 350. Polydor about a half length in front of Sir Novell. 2 lengths further back, then Silver Scout from Chetford. Haughty Lad. Havelock's Pride is under the whip and not doing a great deal. The leader, Polydor, coming down to the 150-metre mark from Sir Novell. Then on the outside, Haughty Lad running home well, but Polydor is a length and a half, Sir Novell. And on the outside, Haughty Lad from further back, then Wings on her heels. Polydor in front with about 80 metres to go, and all the way Wind coming up. And Polydor's got the money on the post, a length to Haughty Lad. Third, Sir Novell from...
Race 7, the Cornwall Handicap, over 2,000 metres, and here it was Triple Lark leading throughout, and this was a pretty impressive performance.
On the outside is Oban. They're followed by Aldenate. True Beauty pulled out wide. Well back is Noble Kid at the moment as they come down to the 250. Triple Lark about 2 in front of Oban. On the outside, True Beauty followed by Noble Kid and Alternate. It's Triple Lark still the leader as they get to the 150, about 2 or 3 in front of Oban. I'm a Redmond and True Beauty. I don't think they're going to run him down today, Triple Lark. He's gone further ahead. He's holding Oban at bay from Noble Kid, but getting his own way in the front today, Triple Lark, and he'll lead all the way. Triple Lark by 2 lengths to Oban, 3 to Noble Kit third, then True Beauty from Alternate, Jack's a Star.
We're going to switch back to race 7 at Eagle Farm yesterday to find a horse to follow and show the slow-mo over the final part. There's some good runs, including the 3 place getters and some just behind the place getters. We picked them up around about the 200-metre mark. Now it's our Westminster Clear, Regal Affair, another Kiwi coming at him, and Lots of Rule down the outside. But keep your eye on Lots of Rule's stablemate, My Blue Kingdom. He's in a yellow hood. He has to change course back towards the inside. He's about 4 or 5 off the fence. He runs on strongly over the final part to get 4th. I thought his effort was good. Billy Asset right beside him battled on strongly. I think he's looking for further, and Royal Reel and Petrero out deeper on the track. So some good runs there, but we might make My Blue Kingdom the horse to follow from the Eagle Farm meeting yesterday. That's our racing segment this morning. Of course, don't forget it's the big Brisbane Cup Day at Eagle Farm tomorrow. A host of good races there. I think we're going to have another very big crowd, and we've got a good meeting at Doomben next Saturday as well, the Orlando Stakes for the fillies and mares. So
Letting go. He snuck a look over the shoulder, Moses. He's a length in front of Finezabel. Round the world, struggling to go with Lord Highbrow. He hasn't released the brakes on Lord Highbrow as yet, and he bolted away from them, and he's killing them in the Cup. It's Lord Highbrow racing right on with the job. Pecura Boy's going to get second. Round the world will be third.
Okay, let's have a look at the TABs in Brisbane. The treble of 2, 1 and 6 paid $22.20. With the double, not much better, $9.70. In Sydney, the treble on 1, 1 and 10, paying $862.50, and the double, $160.90. And down to Melbourne, the treble 5, 5 and 4, $248.20, and the double, $45.60. And up at Caloundra, where the Sunshine Coast Turf Club have been holding their annual sprint series for 2-year-olds. The main race, an All-Australian Futurity, went to Gallant Ruler.
Bank Coin out 3 wide. Gallant Ruler poised just back in behind them. Switch back to the inside now. Then Benaim, and they're followed out wide by Makita Blue and Classic Novel 250 out, and Bank Coin on the outside went to the front, got past Honey Bridge. Gallant Ruler getting the splitters, coming home quickly now. Bank Coin in front. Here's Gallant Ruler shooting through on the inside. Bank Coin tackled by Gallant Ruler. Gallant Ruler driven through on the inside by Hieronymus, who's doing the better work. And he won again, Gallant Ruler.
It's a very hardy type.
In soccer?
Just Monday, who's coming back in distance. I think Shane hit it on the head. He said they found the key to how to ride this horse back in the field because he really swamped them in the straight. Our Beaujolais.
Mr. Mercury, Prince Red Mac and our Beaujolais coming around the turn. They've got short of 400 metres to go, and Call Me Humphrey dashed up on the outside. He's gone to a clear lead. He's a length in front of Dashing Show. Proudest Moment pulled out wide. He's popped a big question. Now he's after them. Then Perseus and Minotaur going through in the middle. And here comes our Beaujolais. He's coming from well back in the field, and Spacecraft is driving through in the middle. Proudest Moment grabbed the lead. Our Beaujolais coming at Proudest Moment. He's going a lot better than him too, our Beaujolais. And our Beaujolais steams to the line to win it by a half length. Wanted to pull up a little bit in the last 20 metres or so.
Well, I think it was a combination of our Beaujolais just wanting to ease up a bit and Shane Scriven allowing him to. He knew he had them covered. and didn't pressure him right to the line. We'll show you the slow-mo of the final stage, and this is a well-timed burst by our Beaujolais in the straight. At this stage, it's Call Me Humphrey, who was battling on very strongly over on the fence. Proudest Moment tackling him. Now our Beaujolais in the red colours and the black cap. Look at Scriven's vigour, and he drives our Beaujolais past them. He knows he's got it safely won, so he just drops his hands and lets our Beaujolais cruise to the line. I think there's more wins in store for our Beaujolais, and good effort by the third place getter there, Call Me Humphrey, because he had to do a fair bit of work in the middle part to get up near the lead and get across from a wide spot. I thought he battled on pretty well. Fifth event yesterday was the main event. It was the Orlando Wine Stakes, and it went to Marmy's Girls, who was well ridden by Stuart Plain, the Newcastle rider. And the favourite, Regal Affair, I thought a bit disappointing. Larry Olsen gave her every chance. She was poised beautifully at the home turn, and I thought as they straightened, she was certain to score, but Marmy's Girl was too strong.
My Maxine going up wide on the track. Society Bay's got a lovely run in the middle. Swifts in just behind them, looking for the way clear, and now Olsen bringing the favourite to the outside, and look at her go, Regal Affair. She's joining in very quickly, and Marmy's Girl is going with her. Lynn's Love kicks on the inside. Regal Affair the outside, and Marmy's Girl might tip them all out. Marmy's Girl raced up to Regal Affair and Lynn's Love, and Marmy's Girl is moving away from Regal Affair. Marmy's Girl beat Regal Affair. Lynn's Love third, Society Bay.
Well, you could almost hear the bookies cheering there because they took a bit of a hammering last weekend at Eagle Farm over the 2 days, but yesterday's Marmy's Girl at 10-1 gave them some relief, defeating the 5-4 favourite Regal Affair. And we'll show you the slow-mo. I think the bookies would like to see this again. At this stage, it's Lynn's Love over on the inside. She showed great fight yesterday over the 1350 metres. Now, the black colours in the centre is Society Bay, who's a bit disappointing. Regal Affair won from the outside, and here's Marmy's Girl, just too strong, right down the outside. Regal Affair just... I think feeling the pinch yesterday. She had a hard run the week before in the flying handicap at Eagle Farm. Maybe that just took the edge off her. The seventh event yesterday was the Carla Zampatti flying, and Roby and Steele produced a Burnborough-like finish. He looked well beaten at the 200-metre mark, but he snatched victory from the favourite My Blue Kingdom, who looked long odds on to score.
Biscay Prince last of all. 6 lengths covering the field as they thunder around the corner. Westerdace the outside, Ford Dennis on the inside, about to be joined by Jet Fighter. Triab on the extreme outside, coming into it with a big run. Where's My Blue Kingdom? Here he is. He's coming to the outside. York starting to wind him up, and look at him go. He's joining those leaders quickly. He grabbed them. My Blue Kingdom swept to the lead with 100 metres to go. Robbie and Steele making ground late. My Blue Kingdom in front. Robbie and Steele flying. Robbie and Steele's going to get him. They hit it, Robbie, and Steele came from an impossible position to...
Well, that's a tidy performance by Robbie and Steele, because we'll show you the slow-mo, and he's actually chopped out at the home turn, and My Blue Kingdom, Brian York, made a quick move. Now, he's moved past Robbie and Steele, who's last at this stage, the big black horse with the white cap. Now, you can see My Blue Kingdom, just out of camera range, was able to get a break on Robbie and Steele at this stage, and as he comes back into camera range, My Blue Kingdom is fairly flying, and he sweeps past Triab and looks set for not only victory, but a comfortable victory. Brian York going for the whip to make a bird of it, because I think he started to sense that My Blue Kingdom was starting to wilt, and just changed strides a couple of times there, and here comes Robbie and Steele. Giant strides down the outside and knocks him out right on the line. Third place getter there, Triab, I thought not a bad effort. His second run in Queensland since coming from New Zealand, and perhaps in a midweek event around about 1,400 metres, he should be hard to beat. Final event yesterday, well, this was one for the punters. Beau Zephyr successful, a sweet ride by Neil Williams. He was awkwardly drawn. He hustled him up, took him to the lead going to the first turn, and then settled in the box seat behind Dare to Be Grand, and then in the straight, it was only a matter of picking up the leader.
Missile Honey Bridge. Some Charm on the outside, and then Plume d'Orvier. 250 metres to go. Dare to Be Grand, the leader. Here comes Beau Zephyr on the outside. He's joining in quickly. Beau Zephyr loomed up to Dare to Be Grand. Some Charm and Right Missile coming after Beau Zephyr. But it looks as though the favourite's in for the money in the last. And Beau Zephyr's going to the line to score. Beau Zephyr first. Some Charm got second. Kayaru Heights or Right...
Pretty handy performer, Beau Zephyr. He followed up his good 7th in the Elders yesterday, and that win yesterday was pretty smart because he did do a fair bit of work in the early part. We'll switch now to Rose Hill yesterday. First leg of the treble down there went to the well-tried Gally Gaskins. He raced outside the leader to the home turn, and he was just clearly too strong in the straight. He moved right away around about the 200-metre mark and scored handsomely from Latest Word, ridden by Mick Dittman.
Gally Gaskins, same as last time, issues the challenge on the bend and races races to the front over Hit Again Benny. Latest Word is coming off the fence to go after Gally Gaskins. They were followed by Ivory Duke battling on bottom line and to Tiller Prince. Gally Gaskins at the 200, the leader. Latest Word goes to second. Hit Again Benny's battling on well on the inside, but Gally Gaskins got them beaten, I think, with 120 left to run. Gally Gaskins is 3 lengths clear. Latest Word and Hit Again Benny are going to fight out the minors, but Gally Gaskins, he's down, wins handsomely. Gally Gaskins 2.5 lengths on the line to Latest.
Rod Hardwick made it 2 on the trot when he took out the next. The 2 is light handicap over 1,200 metres on Market Love, defeating Killiney Hill. Now, these two had a tremendous struggle all the way down the straight. There was only a long neck in it at the finish, but on the outside it was My Market Love and Rodney Hardwick just a shade too strong.
Antoinette Country Club creeping closer, 3 wide. Tassie Deep in the centre. Great Vein was next. Major Edition getting a crack with the whip on the fence, and Please Reply to the outside. Killiney Hill is headed off by My Market Love, straightening up at the 400. There's not much between them. Tassie Demon holding third, followed by Country Club. Great Vein running on. Please Reply. My Market Love in front. Killiney Hill's having a crack at it at the 200. My Market Love's a neck in front. Killiney Hill's finding plenty. My Market Love's experience is paying dividends. It's a neck in front of Killiney Hill, which can't do any better, I don't think. And My Market Love's going to get the money. My Market Love scores. My Market Love ahead on the line to Killiney Hill. 6 away.
Third leg of the Rose Hill treble, the 7th event. It went to Credit Again from King of Cavallero, the favourite. As they straightened up, it was King of Cavallero scraping paint over on the inside. Credit Again inclined to just drift a little bit in the centre, but he came back to score and score quite decisively on the line, despite giving the favourite a bit of weight.
Flash Meal is coming after them again. Further back was Full Beat, and at the rear is Blazing Desire. Bouteille out wide. Upside's tackling the leader on the home quarter, namely King of Cavallero. Between them, Credit Again under the whip, followed by Plush Meal. Wide out, Bouteille has taken the lead. Credit Again fighting on. Bouteille wants to run in. Credit Again grabbed the lead. King of Cavallero coming again, and Plush Meal's wider. Credit Again under its big weight as the leader. King of Cavallero's fighting back on the inside from Plush Meal. Credit Again and King of Cavallero. Credit Again put its head in front of King of Cavallero, and here's a bold effort. Credit Again wins the money. Credit Again scores by a length to King of Cavallero.
Well, the real Melbourne weather stood up yesterday. As we turned to Sandown, you can see that it's a very bleak old day. The track certainly well on the rain-affected side, and it made it very difficult for horse and rider. But the first leg of the Melbourne treble was the 3rd event. It went to Kentucky Hostess, who was well clear at the 200 metres, but he got the wobbles from that point, and Mill Trooper almost picked her up. Kevin Forrester throwing everything at Kentucky Hostess to scrape home.
Running on fairly. Under a lot of pressure further back, Starlet Princess, and Red Rattler's running home well, but at the 250, and the leader is over on the inside, Kentucky Hostess, a length and a half to Mill Trooper trying to get to her. Red Rattler coming home pretty well. Kentucky Hostess in front, 100 out. Mill Trooper almost on terms. It's Kentucky Hostess from Mill Trooper and Red Rattler. Mill Trooper getting to Kentucky Hostess. Kentucky Hostess, Mill Trooper. Oh, I reckon she fought back and won, Kentucky Hostess, and knows.
Well, fortunes changed very quickly halfway down the straight in the second leg of the Melbourne treble. We'll get it out yet. And it was Fashion Prince who was well clear when they straightened, but he tired quickly once he got around the 300-metre mark, and Braquillo moved up in the lime green colours to go to the lead about the 200 metres and score decisively. And Captain Police looked a threat at that point, but he couldn't sustain the run, and it was Braquillo scoring quite well.
To the front from Something Stunning, and he kicked away Fashion Prince. Braquillo's gone up second, Something Stunning third. Out wide a Captain Police starting to make his run with Winter running home well, then Straight Grey and Springfield Lad. Fashion Prince being grabbed by Braquillo. Here comes Captain Police on the outside, looking for his 6th win here at Sandown as Braquillo took the lead. A length in front, Captain Police trying to wear him down, but Braquillo got the break. Braquillo kicked a length and a half, Captain Police Winter. Then further back was Springfield Lad, but Braquillo's too good for them. And Braquillo wins a length and a half, Captain Police. Winter is third. Then Springfield...
It was getting really murky by the final leg of the treble down there, race 7. And I think at the home turn, Wayne Treloar wouldn't have been giving himself much hope of winning on Silver Scout, but he sustained a determined bid to wear down Top Innings, and in the end score by 3/4 of a length. You'll pick up Silver Scout. He's in red and black colours and a white cap, about 6th at this stage, and under pressure and a long way from the leader.
Expected Journey of Wings to the Heels getting out deep as they run down with about 250 to go. Top Innings dash to the front. Led 2 lengths now to Silver Scout, going out after it from Cernaval. Expected Journey and Wings on the Heels. Top Innings the leader. Silver Scout starting to peg it back. Silver Scout moved up to Top Innings. Then Wings on the Heels from Expected Journey. Silver Scout put its head in front of Top Innings, and Silver Scout's coming away to win. Nearly a length to Top Innings. 2 lengths away, third Wings on the Heels. Fourth expected journey.
Now for our horse to follow from the meetings yesterday, we're going to switch back to the first event at Doomben yesterday and show you the slow-mo of the final stages. Some tidy efforts in this, but I thought the run of the race came from the third place getter, Coeur de Valais. She was trapped wide, battled on very strongly, and I think she's one to fall over a bit more ground. Baghdad Boy, also the grey, I think he can be hard to beat next.